91.1 The Globe, WGCS Goshen. My name is Dante Stanton, alongside my broadcast partner Seth Smith-Kaufman. We are just 7 minutes away from kickoff here. It is Goshen College women's soccer action on your station for Maple Leaf Athletics, 91.1 The Globe, WGCS Goshen. Quick shout out to Tyson Miller back in the studios running the boards for us, doing an excellent job today. And also a quick shout out, it's the Globe's 63rd birthday. No better way to celebrate the 63rd birthday than with a sportscast.
Indeed, indeed. We've had a lot of stuff happening at the Globe. We've had multiple people on broadcast, but now it's time to get some sports in as well for the Globe birthday.
Absolutely it is. So let's talk about the two teams that we've got in this matchup. Of course, the Goshen College Maple Leafs coming in with an overall record of 4-5 on the season, 0-2 in Crossroads League play, but a chance to get a much-needed win in conference today against the St. Francis Cougars. St. Francis struggling on the season so far. 2 wins, 6 losses, 1 tie. 0-2 in conference play as well. We've got a great matchup here. The Leafs all-time, look at the matchup history here. Plain and simple, have done pretty poorly against St. Francis. 2 wins, 16 losses, and 4 ties. The last tie coming the last time these two faced off in 2019. It was a low-scoring affair, just 1-1. However, coming into this matchup, Seth, I got to think the Cougars have had a rough season. Once again, 2 wins, 6 losses, 1 tie. This may be the best chance for the Leafs to make a push in conference play.
It's a perfect time for that. Looking into the conference, Goshen's sitting at 8th, and it's one of 3 teams without a win or a tie in this conference. And however, I think they have a better season record than some of the other teams that are above them, and that's and another thing to take note of while looking at that record is Goshen does not historically do well at home. They're 1-3 at home this season and 3-2 away. So being at home, and it's great that we get to broadcast this game, but not so great for the Leafs, it looks like, historically. Some interesting things there, but regardless, this is a perfect time for the Leafs to take a stand in the conference.
Seth, you've seen this Maple Leafs team now 3 times on the season. You've gotten to see them really evolve and grow as the season progresses. What would you say is the number one component that you've seen from this Leafs squad improve upon, and what's left for them to work on the most?
Yeah, watching the Leafs a couple of times, I think they've been doing a lot in the department of creating opportunities and capitalizing on them. They have statistically more shots than their opponents. I'm not sure that was the case when we first started watching. I'm sure that statistic has grown. I think the next step for the Leafs, however, is foresight and looking at the game in a big sense. It seems like the Leafs play pass to pass and as opportunities arise, which is fine, but I want to see more intention and a clear plan when moving up the field. And I think part of that comes when knowing your job on the field and what you can expect from teammates moving and passing. And now being so far in the season, it's time to start looking at that game in a bigger sense and looking not to the pass that you're making, but the passes 2 and 3 ahead.
We're going to take a quick timeout. We'll be back with a few final thoughts before this evening's matchup between the Leafs and the Warriors. Excuse me, the Cougars. Make sure you keep it locked. It's 91.1 The Globe. We're back live on 91.1 The Globe, WGCS Goshen. My name is Dante Stanton alongside Seth Smith-Kaufman. We've got Goshen College women's soccer action for you here on 91.1 The Globe, the Globe Leafs live stream, globeradio.org, the RadioFX app, and of course the TuneIn Radio app as well. Plenty of ways to listen to the Globe today. And you know what? We've got an excellent matchup for you today as well. Now, Seth, got just a couple minutes before we get down to the action here. Let's talk statistics for this Maple Leaf side. You look at the statistical leaders, and what jumps out to you? For me, it's got to be the goals. There's 3 currently tied for the top goal spot. It's going to be Saya Lang, Menaheen, and Renshaw all have 3 goals on the season. that's a lot of good distribution there on the offensive side for the Maple Leafs.
Yeah, for sure. I think when we're talking about a team and a well-rounded team, you can't just have one player that outperforms because that player will automatically be marked up by the opposition. They're a target. But when you have multiple players that you know can put in goals and know that they're reliable in terms of an offense, that creates goal-scoring opportunities, and that's a well-rounded team.
Something you talked about before the break, something that's really impressed you as this season has gone on about the Maple Leafs has been their shots. You know, they didn't start off at a great rate as far as shots go, but they've really improved as the season's gone on. It's interesting to point out, Seiya Lang has 25 shots all on her own so far this season. We've seen her grow a lot as a player this season as well.
For sure. I've enjoyed watching Lang play. I think she started off the season well, but I think she had room to grow, which is how you kind of want to see a player get into a season. And she's growing throughout the season, and 25 shots is just an impressive number. And I'd like to say, we haven't talked about the weather yet, but amount of shots here is going to be important in this game.
Absolutely it is. I had the good fortune to sit down and talk a little bit with head coach for the Maple Leafs, Justin Crew, before this game, and he talked about the conditions for this contest. The ball's going to be wet, it's going to be slippery, it's going to take odd bounces, and he said most of all this game is just going to be unpredictable, and that's the best way he could describe it.
For sure. I also talked to the head coach of the Cougars on the opposite side, that's Ken Newber. He actually said, I asked him about conditions as well, he actually said that the conditions wouldn't matter out here today. He said that Goshen College does a great job with keeping their field well maintained. He noted that there was no puddles out on the field. It's all gone to the sides of the field. That's an important thing to note out here on the pitch today. But he said that it wasn't going to affect his team too much. So an interesting sort of difference of perspective there.
We're going to take a quick timeout, and we'll be back with our final thoughts before we get back down to the action. We'll have your starting lineups, final thoughts, and then Goshen College women's soccer. Make sure you keep it locked to 91.1 The Globe and the Go Leafs live stream. Back live from the Ingold Athletic Complex on the campus of Goshen College. My name is Dante Stanton alongside Seth Myth-Kaufman, and we have got Goshen College athletics for you. Live women's soccer right here on 91.1 The Globe. The Go Leafs live stream as well. Shout out to our crew back at the studios. Tyson Miller is running the boards for us. Huge thanks to him. Running the boards and kicking it with the music as well. Some great selections back there. So we're going to talk a little bit now about, got some final thoughts before we get down to the action here. They're going through the starting lineups. We'll go through those in just a minute. But Seth, This women's team really kind of got back on track. The Maple Leafs, despite the 3-2 loss to the Mount Vernon Nazarene Cougars, especially on the offensive side, they only put up 11 shots, but they made the most of them and put in their first 2 scores since September 10th in the last contest. What stuck out to you as the catalyst for this one storm at Leafs offense?
Yeah, we talked about it a bit earlier, but I think just opportunities and taking those opportunities when they came. When it comes down to taking opportunities, players need to kind of be a little selfish and just take the shots that they need to take. As much as I talk about good opportunities versus, quality and quantity of opportunities, the more the Leafs get in the 18 especially and get those shots off, the better they're going to be. As well, another factor for this Leafs offense has been transitions. We've talked a lot about going from the beginning of the season to now, and I'm seeing a much better and faster transitions from offense to defense, and it catches teams off guard, and I think that's something that St. Francis might have trouble dealing with. These Leafs offense has done really well with doing that.
Take a look at the Maple Leafs starting lineup now. They're going to go with, at the goalkeeper spot, freshman Micaiah McCain. She's had an excellent season so far. 9 starts, 28 saves, a 3-5 overall record. For reference points, the Maple Leafs are 4-5 overall, so she's doing pretty well there. Number 2, Paige Renshaw, the senior. Number 4, Isabel Love, the junior. Number 5, Beatrice Menaheen, the senior. Number 7, Saya Lang, another freshman there. Number 13, senior Ann Nisley, who we actually saw a little bit earlier on in the season at that defensive spot. She has come in and done a really good job in relief so far this season. Number 16, Lexi Adamczyk, the sophomore. Number 17, Amy Drew, freshman. Number 19, Caritas Maria Arnastatish, the freshman, and number 20, Brina Ruth Hernastatish, another freshman. And rounding out the lineup here, we've got yet another freshman, number 28, Madeline Swallow. Now, we kind of noted something about this. Madeline Swallow, this is one of the first times she's been in the starting lineups this season.
For sure. Maddie has commonly come off the bench and made plays during the game, and it's obvious that from her kind of bench play, the coaches have now seen what she can do and has decided that as a freshman, she's ready to get out there. And you were talking about this, I think you were mentioning this, referencing it. This is a very young team. Another freshman, another sophomore, those kind of things. This is a young team, and I think the Leafs are on a great path to these next 3 or 4 years with all the freshmen that they have out there in the starting lineup.
6 freshmen in the starting lineup today. Do you see that as an advantage or kind of a weakness for the Maple Leafs in this one?
I see this as both. I think that it's hard to have a team that's not as experienced, but I also think that this leaves a lot of room to grow, and I think that this is a great game. A conference game is a great way to show your freshmen that you can do this as a team, and you can compete in the conference and compete as a team.
Maple Leafs looking for their first conference win since a 2-1 victory over Huntington last season. It was their lone victory last year, so they're looking for their first conference victory of the season once again. Maple Leafs 4-5 on the year, 0-2 in Crossroads League. Seth, why don't you run us through the starting lineups real quick for the St. Francis Cougars?
Sure. For the St. Francis Cougars here, they're 2-6-1 on the season. A bit of information there. Starting at double zeros, Amber Morgan, she's a sophomore. Number 2, Janelle Jordan, a freshman. Number 3, Caitlin Welker, a sophomore. Number 4, Maria Givens, a sophomore. Number 6, Carly Biddle, a freshman. Number 13, Katie Shear, a junior. Number 14, Ellen Weikert, a senior. Number 17, Aubrey Vince, a junior. Number 18, Haley Miller, a junior. Number 22, Mallory Turnbow, a sophomore. Number 24, Olivia Cronenwet, a senior. Another kind of younger team here. I'm looking at some freshmen and some sophomores, but also a good balance between juniors and seniors in those freshman and sophomore positions. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out with both of these teams kind of being younger than some other teams out there.
We're going to take it down to the action on the pitch now. I believe Maple Leafs will have the opening kick here, and they do. First kick goes deep into Cougar territory. Swallow trying to play a little defense over there on that far side. Cougars are just starting off with a little pass back and forth between their defenders. Currently in possession is Shear along the back line for the Cougars. Now moves it over here to the near side. Haley Miller in possession. She bounces it back to Shear. Ball sent over to Welker. Welker just outside the 18. The Cougars pass up, trying to push up pitch just a little bit. In possession now is Carly Biddle. Biddle moving over to the middle now. Sends it up. Nice move by Weikert. Weikert sends one long down the far side. And just a little bit too far. Trying to get a hold on it before it goes out of bounds is Aubrey Vince. She's not able to get there.
Yeah, classic little bit of soccer there from St. Francis. They're moving around the defense. They push up through the middle, send a ball to the corner, and unfortunately that one goes too far for them, but classic soccer, simple soccer there for them, and hopefully the Leafs can kind of shut that down in the midfield especially.
Goal kick here on the near side for the Maple Leafs. Fighting for the ball. The ball goes actually back to St. Francis. It's Biddle over the middle. There's a race for the ball. Trying to kick it out of bounds it's going to be number 4 for the Maple Leafs, Isabel Love. Trying to make sure that Grace doesn't get over there and get a good one-on-one opportunity. So that's going to set up her first corner kick of the contest.
Already we're seeing a bit of action from number 17, Aubrey Vince. She's a junior, and she's up there playing that forward position. You can already tell she's fast, and she wants that ball in the 18, those one-on-one situations.
Vince takes the corner kick from the far side, sends it up. It's headed out of there nicely by Nisley. Goes directly back over to Vince. Vince sends it just a little bit too high and behind the net. 43 minutes remaining here in the first half. No score thus far.
Yeah,
Maple Leafs in possession.
We talked about Ann Nisley there. She plays good defense, heads that one straight out, doesn't let them get an opportunity to get anything on it.
And she wasn't a consistent starter until there was actually an injury that we had a couple weeks ago. Alexandra Fernandez went out with an injury, and she appears to be okay. She's subbed in a couple games so far this season, but they're sticking with Nisley in that lineup, and she's done an excellent job so far this season.
Yeah, again, as you grow as a team and as you see what your players can do and how the chemistry works between the team, it's a good thing to be switching out starters and who's the best fit for the team.
Vince tries to cross pitch here as the Cougars take back over. She sends it a little bit too far for Janelle Jordan, and the Maple Leafs take over here on the near side. Trying to handle the ball is Paige Renshaw from the Maple Leafs, but she's unable to get it off of her foot and back in bounds. Throw in now for the Cougars coming from Miller. Miller throws in, goes to Cronowet. Cronowet trying to handle it on the near side all the way along the back goal line. Renshaw takes over, and I believe that's Anashtatish who sends that one out of there for the Maple Leafs, back towards the center line. St. Francis Cougars back on their heel a little bit, send it to Shear, and Shear's going to send it back across the center line. Now moving back up over the middle is Biddle. Ball stolen away nicely by the Maple Leafs. Good move there. Pushing it up for Amy Drew. Drew moving up takes a long shot from just outside the 18. It's a nice kick, but it goes directly into the arms of Amber Morgan.
Yeah, that's what that Goshen coach is talking about, putting those shots in there. It's slippery. That goalkeeper's gloves don't work as well when they're wet, and so putting that in there might just slip right through her fingers.
The condition's definitely something to talk about in this one. It has stopped raining completely from what we've seen, and as the coach said that, Maple Leafs really do take good care of the field here. There's no puddles down on the field. It's all kind of separated to the sidelines, as you mentioned, but conditions still going to play a factor in this one.
Yeah, someone that's played soccer before, the one thing about wet grass is the ball moves much faster, kind of skims over the grass, so this is going to be a faster, maybe a little bit chippier game of soccer here today because of the weather conditions.
Renshaw unable to handle it here on the near side. They're in the attacking third now, are the Cougars after the throw-in. They're going to send it over to Biddle. Now back across the center line in possession is Welker. Welker tries to send it over to the middle, but a nice body block there by Adamczyk gives the ball back to the Maple Leafs, at least briefly, before it's kicked out of there by St. Francis. Now with possession on the far side and the flank is Cronowet. Cronowet pushes it up and tries to get it up there to Vince on that far side, just outside the 18.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the weather conditions or just getting into this game, but already a little bit of a messy game, sort of some back and forth, some short possessions. Maybe as the game goes on, we'll see some longer possession and a clear person who is sort of dominating this game.
40 minutes, 10 seconds remaining here in the first half. No score. Maple Leafs in possession on the far side. It's Swallow. Swallow just about to the halfway line. She's going to leave it out here on the far side for Drew. Drew is going to send it back to Arnashtatish. And it's going to go all the way back to Nisley at the middle of the 18. Sent here to the near side. It's Arnashtatish up to Hinashnashtatish moving along the near side. She's got some space. Crosses it up over the middle, trying to set up over the middle for Swallow. Nice job defensively. Welker boots that one out of there just inside the 18.
Yeah, nice shot by Arnashtatish. She pushes up there, and you see that from her often, and that's a good play because she's setting up Maddie Swallow, who just unfortunately gets beat to the ball.
And something to note, Maddie Swallow really has a lot of speed. We've seen her come off the bench, like you said, a couple times this year, and she's always provided a little bit of a spark. She's got 2 goals on the season. A lot of pretty much equal distribution between the Maple Leafs for goals so far this season. As we mentioned earlier, both there's a trio. Menaheen, Renshaw, and Lang all have 3 goals, and then they've got another one with 2. Paige Renshaw looking for another opportunity at a goal here. She's got one, and she Shoots, she scores just inside the 18. It was a breakaway one-on-one opportunity. Renshaw just getting the best of the defenders and getting past Morgan.
Yeah, Paige Renshaw makes a good move. She fakes out the goalkeeper. She thinks she's going left. Goalkeeper dives, and she sends it the other way to the right side, and the goalkeeper can barely get a hand on it. Does nick it, but it still goes in the back of the net. A good shot from Renshaw.
Just like that, Renshaw now leads the Maple Leafs with 4 goals on the season. We were just talking about how equal the distribution is. Well, we've got a leader now.
Yeah, and an interesting thing about Renshaw is here, we saw her start playing in a forward position, but now we're seeing her as sort of this winger, this near side winger, that's sort of a midfield position. So it's a bit different, but she's obviously still thriving in the goal scoring and opportunity making, even if she's not all the way pushed up the field.
And she's done a good job recovering. She had a couple of, not fumbles or anything like that, but wasn't able to keep the ball in bounds with Maple Leafs here on the near side. So a great recovery there by Renshaw. So the Maple Leafs score at the 38:56 mark, make it a 1-0 game over here on the Cougars. A good, quick start for the Maple Leafs.
Yeah, and this is, like I said, I talked to the head coach of the Cougars, that's Ken Neuber, and he was talking that the biggest thing that he's focusing on today is keeping the Leafs in front of him because the forwards are so talented. And that's one place where his team didn't focus on that, didn't keep Paige Renshaw in front.
Cougars in possession now. The ball is kicked out of there, and the defenders are going to send it back to Amber Morgan. Morgan's going to boot that one out of there from just inside the 18, sends it to about the halfway line, but coming away with it is Saya Lang. She moves out here over to the near side to Drew. Drew pushes back over to the middle, crosses just a little bit off of Lang's foot. They're setting it up, trying to get it over there on the middle to Tavares for the Maple Leafs. Deflects off of a St. Francis player, and that's going to be a corner kick for the Leafs.
Another good opportunity by the Leafs there, and a corner kick is just another one of those things. And the Leafs are really pushing up that middle really, really well. It's already good to see that this early in the game.
37:30 remaining in this contest. In the first half of this contest. Maple Leafs up 1-0. Kanashitish set to take the long goal kick from the far side. She sends it directly into the chest of Katie Shear and then back out of bounds. I believe that's going to be another goal kick. Corner kick. Kanashitish set up to take another corner kick. Kick is up. It's a high arcer. It's sent up. Bounced off of Maddie Swallow. They're trying to set it up there for Saya Lang for a header. Goes off of her shoulder and out of bounds. Yeah,
they're calling a foul there on Maddie Swallow, saying that she shoved off of there, and that might be the case. So it'll be sort of a goal kick situation, but definitely a penalty kick.
Something to note, the Maple Leafs have 83 fouls on the season, so they do get aggressive out there, but they have just 3 yellow cards, so they're a pretty safe team with their fouls. They're aggressive, and they do what they have to do, but no ejections or anything like that so far this season for the Leafs.
Yeah, I also saw that yellow cards against the Leafs are 8 yellow cards, so they're drawing more yellow cards with their sort of physicalness than they're being given, which is a good statistic.
36:20 remaining here in the first half. Maple Leafs up 1-0. Maple Leafs in possession of the ball now. It's Tavares here on the near side, trying to set up Paige Renshaw over here on the near side, moving into the defensive third for St. Francis, and just booting the ball out of bounds. Smart move there by the defender. That's Haley Miller. Kicks that one out for St. Francis, but the Maple Leafs will regain possession.
Yeah, this is already a great game for the Leafs. You know, it takes a lot of pressure off to score a goal this early, and so they can just play confident, play good, and you're already seeing that.
Sailing trying to set up a crosser here on the near side. The ball's going to go out and past the goal line, I believe, on the St. Francis Cougars. So Kanashitish with her third goal kick of the game, corner kick of the game already, now here on the near side.
Yeah, interesting thing. She runs all the way from the near side, all the way to the far side to take those corner kicks. She's obviously a great corner kick taker for this Leafs.
Both the ones we've seen so far are high arcers. She sends this one directly up over the middle. It's bounced off of Maddie Swallow's foot, and Maple Leafs are able to retain possession. Now over here on the near side, but it's stolen away. Nice job stealing that one away by Cronowet. Cronowet able to reset the defense. She's going to send it back to Haley Miller along that defensive line. Cronowet tries to get it up past Drew, is unable to do so. Now it's going over to the middle to Tavares. Tavares tries to set up a little bit of a crosser over the middle for Swallow. It's blocked around. Tavares with a shot. She sends it up, and just a little bit too high, just above the crossbar. It actually lands in the net right behind the crossbar.
Yeah, that's a shot that you want to be taking. In my head, I was thinking, shoot that, shoot that, shoot that, and she did do that. She took the shot, and that one, if you put that one just a bit lower, that's another score for the Leafs. The goalkeeper, 0-0, Amber Morgan for the Cougars, was not high enough to get that, and so those are the shots that maybe Goshen wants to focus on taking here.
And great recognition there from Tavares. You know, you said shoot that shot, shoot that shot. That's exactly what she did. She knew that you have to be selfish in that moment. You don't want to try another crosser or anything like that.
Yep, I talked about that in the pregame, and it's a good thing to be taking those opportunities and using them as best as possible.
Pitch gets flipped here for the Maple Leafs. Maple Leafs are in possession, but it goes all the way back over here to the near side defense. Ball is moved up now closer to the middle and closer to the halfway line. Our Ashley Tisch struggling a little bit with Vince all over her on the near side along the 18. Not a wise move on the far side from McCain. McCain just kind of rolls it out here very softly to Nisley, and Vince starts to bolt for the ball. Nisley with a good recovery there, able to get the ball over here to the near side. He's kicked out of bounds on the Maple Leafs.
Yeah, that's a point where the weather might have taken a turn there. That ball takes a weird bounce, and our Ashley Tisch just can't handle it.
Something else to note, we do have a little bit of a breeze up here. Looked at the weather forecast earlier. We expect 10 to 15 mile-an-hour gusts at some point during the game, so that could be another factor in this one as well. Conditions, a heavy factor today. 33-20 remaining here in the first half. 1-0 Maple Leafs. Cougars are in possession here on the near side. The throw-in comes from Miller in the attacking third. Maple Leafs able to boot the ball out of here, trying to get it over here to Lang on the near side. Lang with a nice turnaround kick, but it's intercepted. Gibbons has the ball. She sends it all the way back across into Cougars territory. Ball is bounced between Welker now to the far side. Giving up to Turnbow. Turnbow trying to move up to Vince. Nisley does a good job of intercepting and kicking the ball all the way back across the halfway line. Pushing the ball out of bounds are going to be the Cougars, so the Maple Leafs will have a throw-in.
Yeah, for the Cougars here, I think they need to be getting this, looking here, Aubrey Vince involved more. She's on that far side at playing a forward position, and she looks like she's ready for the ball, making runs, but no one is passing to her and maybe getting
Paige
her involved.
Renshaw set up for an opportunity here right over the middle, but Morgan does a good job scooping the ball up. Rolls it out here on the near side. Now in possession is Miller. Ball stolen away by the Maple Leafs. Drew with a nice quick turnaround. Gives it over to Lang. Lang tries to give it right back. It's intercepted, and then Tavares gets it back to Drew for the Maple Leafs. Trying to get up to Lang for the Leafs, unable to do so. Ball is getting bounced around the center line, and the Maple Leafs eventually do come away with it.
Yeah, there's a moment where they pass it back to the defense, and the defense will choose what to do with it.
Ashley Tisch sends that one long, trying to get Swallow over the middle. Ball goes back to the Cougars, and they're just kind of bouncing around between the halfway line and the 18 of the Cougars. Cougars take back over. It's Givens. Givens with a little bit of room here on the near side. Pushes out to Jordan. Now over to Cronowet. Cronowet moving over to the middle into the attacking third. Sends it cross pitch. They've got Vince on the far side. Vince looking to cross. Tries to send one over, but it bounces off the body of Isabel Love, sent back the other direction. Swallow sends it over the middle. Too much on it. Taking over is the Cougars once again. It's Shear. Shear now with an opportunity here on the near side. Pushes it into the attacking third. Now back into the flank. A real defensive struggle over here. Calling for a foul but not getting it is Amy Drew. A little bit of a hand check there.
Yeah, a little bit of a hold there. Might have been a foul, might not have been, but the ref's not going to call that this early.
Over here on the near side now working are the Cougars. Ball just really getting bounced back and forth. Neither team able to maintain possession for more than 5 or 6 seconds at this point.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. This messy game, and it's hard to get to the ball to feet when it's bouncy and whether it's wet out here.
Drew with possession now for the Maple Leafs over the middle. She passes it up. Now off the right foot of Tavares, trying to set up Renshaw over the middle. Swallow regains possession. Now they've got Lang. Lang right over the middle. Moving inside to the 18. Sends a shot in on goal, but sends it directly into the gut of Amber Morgan.
Yeah, we were talking about this, how the offense has really grown throughout this season, and you're already seeing it. This Renshaw, Swallow, and Lang sort of chemistry up top here is really doing wonders for the Leafs. We're already having great opportunities, 5 shots for the Leafs and only 1 shot for the Cougars.
Another player I wouldn't be surprised to see out there on the pitch in substitution format sometime throughout this game would be Menaheen. We've seen her do good work in the goal category as well. Maple Leafs in possession now at the halfway line. Drew sending it up over the middle. We just did see a Goshen player slip a little bit. It didn't affect the pass or anything like that, but those conditions still playing a factor in this one. Swallow in a fight for the ball. 50-50 ball on the far side. Maple Leafs come away with it. Send it to Love along the back line. Love sends it up to Swallow. Swallow putting on the Jets a little bit. She's got plenty of room. She sends it up on the far side now. I believe that's Lang on the far side trying to work towards the 18. Now moving into the middle. Sends a crosser up. Headed out of there by Miller. Good defense by the Cougars.
Yeah, Paige Renshaw is on that far side. She's waiting for it. She needs to get to that ball, move towards it.
Back down to the action. Vince for the Cougars moving over the middle. She had plenty of room. She was kind of swerving in and out from the far side over here to the middle, but it was stolen away by that Goshen defense. Drew is going to send it back to the defensive line for the Maple Leafs. Drew in possession now, looking a little frustrated, not getting the angle she was looking for. So she sends it back to the back line once again. Pushing up deep down the pitch now is Hanash Nashtatish on the near side. She sends it up. No one there for the Maple Leafs. Taking over is Welker for the Cougars. Welker in the middle. Past the halfway line now are the Cougars. Ball is bounced off of a Cougar here on the near side now, taking possession and moving it right through the legs of the Goshen defender is Janelle Jordan. Pushing one over the middle on a crosser is number 6, Carly Biddle. She tries to get it over and see if she can set up. I'm assuming Vince on that far side, but Vince actually over here in the near side and out of position a little bit. It goes directly into the arms of Micaiah McCain.
Good play by Love, though. Love looked like she was about to step up and take that pass, but McCain calls her off, says, I'm just going to pick this one up, and she moves aside to let the ball go by her, and so McCain can just pick that up. It's a safer play than Love trying to fumble with it.
Another aspect of improvement I think we've seen from the Maple Leafs so far is their communication throughout this season. Maple Leafs with opportunity now, and Paige Renshaw with the one-on-one once again. They're going to call it off.
Just going to be called offsides there. That one was close. She's right in between those defenders, so for her, she should be knowing where those defenders are. If that one was offsides, it was very, very barely offsides. We talked about that in an earlier game, that the Leafs need to focus on not being offsides, and that's the first offsides call in about 18 minutes, so we'll see how that plays out for the rest of the game.
27:05 remaining here in the first half of action. We've got a soggy game for you, but a good one nonetheless so far. Maple Leafs on top 1-0. And moving over the middle, trying to set up Saya Lang. Lang still pushing for the ball as it goes all the way over to Amber Morgan, the goalkeeper for the Cougars. She sends it long past the halfway line. Trying to set up that Cougar offense. Ball is booted off the foot of Weichert and goes all the way back to Micaiah McCain for the Leafs. McCain grabs it. McCain with 28 saves on the season so far. She's got, in 8 games, she's had a pretty good season so far. She's just a freshman, so it's incredible to see what she's done already in her career.
Again, we talked about it. She's a freshman, and she's making 28 saves. You know, 28 saves, that's in the long run. That's a lot of goals that is not being scored against the Leafs, and this is a game about being outscored, and so she's doing a great job back there in that goalkeeping position. Defensive
line also doing some tough work for the Maple Leafs. There's going to be a foul that time on the Cougars, so the Maple Leafs will take back over. As Arnash Tatish got shoved around a little bit by Vince.
Yeah, you talked about it up here, Amy Drew. She's going for that ball, even though it looks like Morgan is going to be coming out to get that in this previous play. I like that she's going after it, because if something happens in these conditions, she's there to get it. She's not 10 feet away.
Maple Leafs, after the free kick, send it up over the middle. Swallow again trying to set up Renshaw here on the near side, but they're practically doubling Renshaw over here on the near side of the 18, and near side in the middle. Cougars defenders are being smart and putting a couple people over here to make sure the ball doesn't get past them.
Well, that's just Renshaw doing a good job of creating space. When she's all the way over here on this near side, she's creating a lot of space for the middle, and she needs to be marked up, and so they know that she's a dangerous player, so they double mark her because there's nothing going on this side. It's smart by them.
A little bit of miscommunication on the far side. Isabel Love bounces the ball off of her foot and out of bounds off the pass from Nisley. 25 minutes remaining here in the first half. Once again, Maple Leafs on top 1-0. First score came at the 38:56 mark from Paige Renshaw. in possession now on the near side. I believe the ball is going to go out on the Maple Leafs.
Yeah, a little bit too much power on that kick from Anash Satish. Just making sure that goes up instead of out is a great way to make sure that the Leafs keep possession here.
Just inside the Cougar side of the halfway line, the throw-in comes from Miller. The ball is getting bounced around a little bit. A couple players almost falling into the puddles that we've got here on the sidelines. Maple Leafs doing a good job of taking possession after the throw-in. They send it over the middle, but it's a risky one. Ball is getting bounced back and forth. Maple Leafs are going to get a foul there. That one's going to be on number 16, Lexi Adamczyk.
Yeah, Adamczyk just kind of steps in from behind there. When you're stepping from behind towards the legs, it's definitely a penalty.
Cougars trying to catch the Maple Leafs off guard with a very short kick, and right after it was called, setting it up over the middle and then booting it out of there is Nisley. Opportunity here for Janelle Jordan. She sends one long, up and high, and too far to the right side.
Just to note, McCain was there. She's right underneath where that ball is going over the crossbar. She's judging it, saying, I don't need to jump for this. I don't need to get a hand on this. But if she does need to, she can easily do that because she's there. Great play by her, even though she wasn't directly involved.
Substitution here for the Maple Leafs. Amy Drew is going to head to the sidelines. Coming in for her is Beatrice Menahin.
Yeah, it's a great way to do this. If you keep those big kind of three offensive leaders kind of rotating in and out in pairs, that means that there's great power for the offense in at all times.
Nisley boots the ball out of bounds on the far side, well into the attacking third on the Goshen side. Nisley with a smart play there, just making sure the ball gets out of bounds. Vince showing some speed for the Cougars and in contention with the ball there, so Nisley really with a smart move, getting the ball out of bounds, making sure she can't set up a crosser or take it in herself. The throw-in does go to Vince for the Cougars. Adamczyk takes back over and sends it back to Love. Once again, still on that far side in the attacking third. The ball is kicked by Nisley and then bounced off a St. Francis player and out of bounds.
Yeah, you talked about communication just a bit, and I'd like to say Nisley and our Nash Natish, they work well together in the center for the defense. The center defenders are sort of the pivotal move for the defense as a whole, and so they do a great job of communicating and knowing what the other one is doing.
Near side here following the goal kick, a Maple Leaf goes down. There's no call or anything like that. It looks like Tavares got sent to the ground by Janelle Jordan. No call. The crosser from Jordan goes all the way to the far side. And too far as it goes over to Vince, and Vince tries to send a crosser but sends it just behind the net.
Yeah, Vince is there for all these opportunities, and I already said something about her, but she's just not making the quality of her opportunities as good as they're there for the quantity. And so maybe from her, she needs to slow down just a bit, just make sure that her crosses and her shots are good shots.
Another thing is we haven't really seen the Cougars attempt to attack from the near side. They've always been going over the far side, maybe getting a little bit predictable. 21:45 remaining here in the first half. Maple Leafs up 1-0. Back and forth games so far, but the Maple Leafs struck early, looking to expand on their lead. Cougars in possession now. Over here on the near side, they tried a little fake out, but coming away with the ball is Menahin. Menahin pushing up over here. On the near side is Lang. Lang with opportunity just outside the 18, sends one just a bit too high above the crossbar.
Yeah, she's aiming. She's looking to get her foot around that shot. Since she's going towards the outside, she has to get her foot around that ball to get it going towards the goal. And she's obviously looking for that far side, but just misses a bit and just a bit too wide.
Something different there. We've seen Amber Morgan a couple times throughout this game, kind of a little bit out of position. She was directly in the path of the ball that time, however. Didn't need to be necessarily because the ball went too high, but good improvement there from Morgan as well, being in front of the ball.
Yeah, it's the shot that was scored on her is an unfortunate one-on-one. It's a great shot by Renshaw, but unfortunate position for a goalkeeper. But she gave the attempt, and it just wasn't enough.
Vince in possession for the Cougars now on the far side. They're still in their own territory. They move it over to the middle now. Pass off the foot of Givens goes up here. Sends it well into the back Goshen line. And Arnash Datish just outside the 18 on the corner. Gives it up to Menahin. Menahin decides not to take it up and sends it back to Arnash Datish. Back to Menahin now. Menahin here on the near side. Once again, nowhere really to go with it, so she's kind of just going back and forth between her and Arnash Datish. Sends it over the middle now to Nisley, and Nisley boots that one long, trying to push the Maple Leafs into Cougar territory. The ball is quickly kicked out of there off the foot of Shear. Kind of bounce back and forth, and a long shot over there from Shear sends it all the way to Micaiah McCain, well outside the 18, really just on the inside of the Goshen halfway line.
Yeah, we talked about Menaheen and Arnash Satish kind of playing together, but Knisley makes a good play, communicates with Arnash Satish to say, hey, I'm here too, and she gets the cross across the field, and that sets up an opportunity for Swallow that unfortunately doesn't come through, but it's a good play between the two defenders to make sure that they're not just passing it around.
Renshaw in possession here for the Maple Leafs on the near side. She sends it back to Hanash Satish, and now they're going back to Menaheen. Menaheen pushing back over the middle, kind of deja vu here, over to Knisley over the middle, and Knisley over the middle is going to move to the outside. Pushing up just a little bit. No defenders directly near her, so she's going to take it all the way up almost to the halfway line. She's going to send one just a bit too long. She tried to push Amy Drew up for an opportunity just outside the 18, but she kicks it a little too far. Morgan able to handle it for the Cougars. Morgan with a quick little pass up to Welker. Welker pushes it up, and now the Maple Leafs take back over. Sent back to Knisley along the defensive line. Now just going back and forth between Knisley and Arnash Satish. Knisley comes away with it. Pass off the left foot goes to Adamczyk, and now they're sending it back to Arnash Satish. Just playing a little bit of a keep away here, really.
Yeah, you can hear Justin Crew, the head coach for the Leafs, down there saying, move a bit, move a bit. He's looking to make sure that his midfielders are moving so that they are not marked up the whole time and the defense isn't just passing around. It's creating that midfield sort of way to push it up into the attacking third, and he doesn't think that his midfielders are moving enough to create those opportunities.
18:05 remaining here in the first half. The Maple Leafs have a one-score lead. It's 1-0 so far. Got a substitution here for the Maple Leafs. Coming in, Tamires Lima. Swallow's going to head to the bench.
Replacing Madeline Swallow.
Yeah, Lima is someone that we've talked about a bit this season, but haven't seen too much of. She's coming in for Swallow, who is, instead of coming off the bench at this point, is now going onto the bench at this point to change from being a starter versus someone who subs in.
You have to think we'll see her a little bit more, either later on in this half or coming out of the halftime break. 17:30 remaining here in the first half. Maple Leafs up 1-0 with the ball along the back line. It's Knisley. No defense moving up for the Cougars here. They're not really pressuring anybody, and they're going to send it up to Menaheen, and finally a little bit of pressure does come from the Cougar side, but still not a lot.
Yeah, they're content to wait. Looks like they're really trying to play a defensive game here.
Menaheen sends it long now. The first time we've seen the Maple Leafs even try to move the ball farther down the pitch, and they're going to come away with it. And over here on the near side now, trying to set up Hanash Satish. And Maple Leafs doing a good job of moving the ball now. Hanash Satish with the throw-in after the ball is kicked out of bounds. She throws into Renshaw. Renshaw in a 50-50 fight over here on the near side. A little bit of a body bump, and the ball goes out of bounds. Smart move there by the Cougars.
Yeah, I'd like to see a little bit more of those long balls played by the defense. The defense is really trying to set up these nice kind of feet-to-feet passes up all the way to the attacking third. But playing those long balls, I think that the Goshen offense can really deal with this Cougars defense. And so maybe just sending those up and seeing what happens might be a better play here.
And we've seen the long ball setup work for the Maple Leafs so far in this one. Just not being able to utilize it on the last few drives. In possession now are the Cougars. Moving it down the pitch is Cassidy McAfee. McAfee on the far side, trying to get it up for Vince. The ball is knocked around and kicked out of the flank and out of bounds. Set to take the throw in now is Turnbow on the far side. Turnbow with the throw in for the Cougars. Bounced off the foot of Menke, Kyra Menke. The ball is sent long off the foot of a St. Francis player, and grabbing it quickly is McCain. McCain sets it up for Hanash Satish on the near side. The ball is stolen away as Hanash Satish tries to get it to Paige Renshaw and send it back to Arnash Satish.
That's one point where Renshaw gets outplayed there. Number 16 for the Cougars. Smith moves towards the ball on that pass, beats her to it. Renshaw needs to maybe just move towards the pass to make sure that's to her feet.
McAfee is in possession now for the Cougars, moving just outside the 18 on the far side, tries to send a crosser in, and she does. Slides while she does it and sends it into the arms of Micaiah McCain.
Yeah, McCain even though it's wet, she's had sure hands on these catches. It's very easy to just fumble these, but she has had sure hands, make sure it's locked down, and then makes a good play after to send it to her defense.
Goshen College defense here just still kind of going feet to feet here. They're moving it up to Tavares. Tavares sends it back to our Arnashtish here in the near side. They're still in the attacking third on their own side, and they're going to throw it all the way back to Nisley. Nisley working over the middle, pushing up just a little bit. She's got McAfee on her, and she sends it up over the middle, trying to get it to Tavares. Ball is blocked out of there, and taking possession is Givens. Givens tries to push upfield a little bit. Maple Leafs able to come away with it. Sends it back to the Cougars now. Shear about halfway in between the center line and the 18. Sends it over to Turnbow now on the far side, and Turnbow trying to set up a one-on-one opportunity, but she boots it a little bit too far for McAfee on that far side.
Yeah, good pressure up top by Amy Drew. She's making sure that this Cougars defense doesn't feel too comfortable. They always know that there's someone there that if they mess up or if they are lazy, that Amy Drew is going to be working harder than them to grab that ball and make an opportunity.
13:35 remaining here in the first half. Maple Leafs up 1-0. What started as kind of a fast-paced back and forth between both teams that they set up a lot of shots. We've only had one shot in the past 2 minutes. That coming from the Cougars. Maple Leafs had 5 shots with about 20 minutes left on the board, or 25 minutes on the board. They've had one since. Shot sent in there by the Cougars goes directly into the arms of Micaiah McCain. McCain sends this one long, and she's got on the near side, it's Menaheen. Menaheen once again. Maple Leafs not trying to really push anything down the pitch. They just send it up to Arnashtish. Arnashtish once again in possession along this near side.
Yeah, this is the difference in soccer of when you're up by a goal and when you're not up by a goal. It's much more scrappier, much more fast-paced if you don't have the pressure of having to score a goal. The Leafs feel good right now. I think they should maybe work to extend their lead even more, but they're in a good position here this early in the game.
Menaheen not really taking any chances. Sends it to the far side now. It's Isabel Love. Love moving over the middle to Adamczyk. Adamczyk going to send it back to Nisley. Nisley on the far side in the flank. No one around her except McAfee. Nisley's able to shake her with a little bit of a crosser move, and Nisley once again moving over the middle. Tries to set up Menaheen. There's a scramble for the ball, and both Menaheen and I believe that's going to be number 6, Carly Biddle, go down. Menaheen stays down.
Yeah, Biddle, a little bit of a dirty play there. She pushes, is that Menaheen down?
That
yes,
is Menaheen
down. She pushes Menaheen off the ball and then continually pushes her while leaving the ball behind. It's a little bit of an interesting move there. She's not going for the ball. She's very clearly going for Menaheen, and that will result in a free kick for the Leafs.
Menaheen kind of grabbing at her stomach as she kind of gingerly walks to the side here. She's going to stay out there for now, but Luisa Souza is here on the sideline ready to check in for the Maple Leafs. Ball is sent long off the kick. Trying to get Renshaw, and they send over to Nashtish. Nashtish sends one from well outside the 18 here on the near side. Sending it in on Morgan. Morgan.
That's our Nashtish right there. She's got that good kind of big foot, and she tries to send one in there kind of over the head of Morgan, but Morgan reaches up and grabs that one with ease.
Morgan sends it long, but the Maple Leafs pick up a foul as it's headed off of Adamczyk. Maple Leafs with a good opportunity there. Adamczyk had a little bit of space in front of her, but a foul negates that. 10:50 remaining in this first half. The Maple Leafs have a one-score lead. It's 1-0 so far. The first goal and only goal of the contest so far coming from Paige Renshaw at the 38:56 mark of the first half. Maple Leafs have struck early and not done a ton since. Playing keep away along the back line on the defensive side. The free kick is taken from just inside the center circle. It's long headed off of Isabel Love and out of bounds. So the Cougars will have a corner kick over here on the near side.
Yeah, we talked about this a bit with our Nashtish, but also here comes Vince all the way from the other side to take this corner kick on the near side. She's obviously the corner kick taker for the Cougars.
Vince takes the kick. It's low. Doesn't really go anywhere. Bounces off of on the far side, and it's going to bounce off of Biddle. The ball goes out of bounds. They're going to say it went out on Biddle after a little bit of a back and forth between her and Nisley.
Yeah, Nisley just makes sure that ball doesn't get touched by her or anyone else. Biddle is trying to recover that, but she makes sure that she doesn't, and that goes out.
Souza subbing in for the Maple Leafs. Surprised to see Menahin still out there despite going down. She's still kind of clutching at her rib, her stomach area, but she's still out there toughing it out for the Maple Leafs.
Yep, Saya Lang goes out. It should be noted, considering that we mentioned Saya Lang and how much of an offensive powerhouse she seems to be, along with Menahin and Renshaw.
Maple Leafs in possession. They've got Adam Check over the middle, trying to push it up to Tavares on the far side. Goes all the way up over into Cougar territory. Cougars with the ball here. They've got Welker. Welker trying to set something up over here on the near side for Miller, unable to do so. Maple Leafs trying to move over to Souza, who recently checked in. She gets spun around, and Welker comes away with the ball. Fighting for the ball now is Menahin and Jordan here on the near side. Ball goes out on Jordan, so the Maple Leafs will have a throw-in.
Yeah, Menahin there in the middle. She doesn't like her pass. She doesn't pass to feet. She's angry at herself. She yells, and then she immediately gets back on defense to recover the ball for the Leafs. That's good. That's a hard work right there. And when you make a mistake in soccer, don't just stand. You need to go back and correct your mistake, and she does that.
A lot of toughness so far from Menahin in this one. 8:25 remaining in the first half. A 1-0 lead for the Leafs. And the Leafs trying to get something going here on the offensive side. Tavares sends it up and sends it up just a little bit too much here on the near side. She was trying to set up either Renshaw or Luisa Souza along this near side defensive third. Menahin comes away with the ball for the Leafs. Crosser goes over to Adam Check. They try to get it up to Renshaw, but it's nicely kicked out of there by Katie Shear for the Cougars.
Yeah, the Cougars, they push up far. They're not giving ground. They're making sure that it's a tight game for the Leafs to get up into the offensive side.
Foul against the Maple Leafs. Tavares is going to take that one. Maybe a little bit of acting on the Cougars side, as there was a little bit of a bump, but she went flying as if it was a little bit something more.
It wouldn't be soccer without a little bit of a flop, Dante, so we're seeing some good soccer here.
Some Oscar-winning performances down on the pitch. 7:30 remaining here in the half. 1-0 Maple Leafs on top. Free kick here coming from the Cougars. Shear is going to be the one to take it. Just on the inside of the center circle in Cougar territory. Goes long over the middle. Menahin misses it, but Maple Leafs, it's Adam Check who's able to kick it out of there. However, it does go back to the Cougars. Over on the far side, controlling it is Turnbow. She sends it over the middle, or tries to at least. It's kick out of there quickly. And now on the far side, Adam Check pushing it over the middle. Has the ball stolen away. Now moving up over the middle is McAfee for the Cougars. Sends it to the outside to Vince. Vince on the outside tries to go for a crosser, but bounces it off the shoulder of Love and out of bounds. Good move by Love.
Yeah, Love just puts her body right in front of that. You got to kind of sacrifice your body a bit when you're playing soccer, especially as a defender, and she does that well and knocks that one straight out of bounds. So this slows down the play for the Cougars. They don't have that momentum going forward, and the defense for the Leafs can take time to reset.
Vince comes away with the ball, but there's going to be a foul. Foul, I believe, is going to be against the Cougars, so the Maple Leafs will take back over. 6:15 remaining in the half. The Maple Leafs holding on to that 1-0 lead, trying to push that to 2 before the half. See what they can do offensively. Love going to take the kick.
Yeah, here's a moment where the Leafs just need to kick long. It looks like Love tries to do that.
Sends it long and just a little bit too far to the left side. On that far side, goes past the touchline and out of bounds.
Here comes Holly Thomas, number 28. She's also a freshman for the Cougars. She's going to check in here for number 6, Carly Biddle,
Maria Givens.
Maria Givens, who we have not mentioned much in this soccer game so far.
Givens coming to the sideline, and Cougars are in possession. It's Turnbow on the far side. Haven't really mentioned much of Turnbow either. That far side offense has really just all been attempts to get the ball to Vince, which hasn't worked out well so far for the Cougars.
Yeah, Vince has been looking to create opportunities in the middle with her crosses, but her crosses, unfortunately, 2 or 3 of them have gone out, and another one has been blocked by Love. Good job by her, but Vince needs to focus a bit on getting those into the 18 especially.
Maple Leafs trying to set up Renshaw over the middle. It's too far. The defenders, ever since that first Renshaw goal, have done a pretty good job of keeping a couple players on her. But it's Adamczyk that comes away with the ball for the Maple Leafs, passes it ahead, goes to herself, crosses over the middle to Renshaw. Too much on it. Menaheen is going to send a shot in, but she sends it way too high, above the goal by about 5 feet.
Again, Menaheen takes a good shot there. She's outside the 18, but that doesn't matter to her. She's got the foot for it, and she goes for it, and it goes a bit too high, but those are hard, especially when the ball is rolling towards you. You have a lot of momentum on that already when you're running at it, and so making sure that you keep your chest over the ball and keeping those low is a way to make sure that those shots go in.
Morgan playing it safe here for the Cougars. She's just going to roll it out to her defenders. The ball goes out of bounds on the near side after a tussle between Turnbow and Adamczyk. Ball goes out on the Maple Leafs. Turnbow going to go for the ball. It'll take a second. Drain some clock time. We got 4 minutes remaining here in the first half. Cougars looking to cut into the 1-0 lead, tie things up before the half. But the Maple Leafs have done a pretty solid job on defense, only allowing 4 shots. For reference, at halftime in their last game against Mount Vernon Nazarene, Mount Vernon Nazarene had 10 shots at the halftime buzzer. So Maple Leafs doing a good job here in the first half defensively.
The Leafs are just making sure that they're getting these shots in, especially with today's conditions that we keep talking about. Getting shots in is going to be the key to winning this game, and they are at this point. They are doubling the shots of the Cougars, and look at the scoreboard. It's 1-0.
And Ash Nashatish sends one up over here on the near side. They're trying to get inside the 18, and they do. Off the foot of Tavares, it's a little bit high and too much on it, so Morgan is able to come up for it before Renshaw is able to get into position. We got a substitution maybe here on the sideline. Set to come in for the Leafs is number 24, Elise Burton. We've seen her a time or two throughout this season.
Yeah, not much of her, but she comes off the bench, and we've watched her play. She's a good player. She's solid. She'll bring some energy, I believe, to this defense, which she commonly subs in for.
3 minutes remaining here in the half. Maple Leafs up 1-0. Trying to expand that to 2. They try to go for a little bit of a soft crosser over the middle to Menaheen. Menaheen unable to come away with it, so Vince for the Cougars sends it long and tries to get it up to McAfee on that far side. Sends it all the way to Micaiah McCain instead. McAfee playing it close and goes all the way up to McCain, forcing McCain to pick that one up and throw it out. Throws it just a little bit too short. You have to wonder if the ball was maybe a little bit too slick there for her to get all of her arm power into it.
Yeah, on some of those, the Leafs might just want to punt that up. McCain's got a decent punt, and she can put it up there. And at this point, we want the offense for the Leafs to be getting the ball, and that's a good opportunity too.
Ball is headed out after the throw-in by the Maple Leafs, and a shot is sent in on goal by Kyra Menke. But she sends it directly to McCain, and McCain is able to pick up the bounce. Another thing we talked about in the pregame that actually Coach Justin Crew was worried about was because of these conditions, the ball does often take odd bounce angles and everything like that. So far, the Maple Leafs have been able to handle that on the goalkeeping side, mainly because the ball has really almost gone directly to Micaiah McCain. Maple Leafs with an opportunity as they flip the pitch, sending it just a little bit too high is Paige Renshaw. They finally got Renshaw open again for the first time since the goal, and Renshaw still a little bit of a defensive coverage over her. She sends that one too high.
Yeah, Renshaw's got the speed, so we know that she's there and she's ready to go in at any point. But there, number 3, Welker for the Cougars, she has her arm in it, she's got her body in it, and that means that's going to be hard for Renshaw to push into that middle spot to take a shot.
With 1:15 remaining, Isabel Love, after a very tough, very hard-fought first half, heads to the bench. Elise Burton comes in for her. Morgan's going to send it out of there for the Cougars. Both teams looking for one last opportunity to strike before the halftime buzzer. Vince is in possession on the far side, and a little bit of a hand fight with Burton. Vince tries to send a crosser over the middle, but it just runs out of real estate there.
Yeah, immediate action for Elise Burton there, and she plays that well. Vince is very fast, but Burton is also very, very fast, and she keeps up. That might be a good substitution to look at come second half, as we've seen a lot of speed from Vince that seems like Love just can't keep up, but Burton can.
30 seconds remaining in the half. Maple Leafs come away with a goal kick. They're going to send this one long over the head of Souza, but Renshaw comes away with it. Renshaw still pushing here. The ball is sent out of bounds. Renshaw recognizing there's about 15 seconds left, so she sends that in, gives it over to Tavares. Now Tavares maybe with an opportunity here to get something going before the end of the half. She sends one up over the middle, a little bit of a crosser, sends it too far into the arms of Morgan, and that is going to do it for the first half of action. Live from the Eagle Athletic Complex. My name is Dante Stanton alongside Seth Smith-Kaufman. We are 1/2 down and 1/2 to go of Goshen College Maple Leaf Athletics. The Maple Leafs on top at the half, a 1-0 lead. Maple Leafs struck pretty early there in this one. 38:56 mark was when they put in the first goal. That was Paige Renshaw with a nice goal, and she's been mostly shut down since. But we're going to take a timeout, and we're going to talk a little bit of have some little halftime analysis when we come back. Don't go anywhere. It's 91.1 The Globe. Back live on 91.1 The Globe, WGCS Goshen. My name is Dante Stanton. We have got Goshen College Maple Leaf Athletics for you. I'm alongside my broadcast partner, Seth Smith-Kaufman. It's the Maple Leafs facing off with the St. Francis Cougars. It's Crossroads League action. Both teams looking for their first Crossroads League victory of the season, and both teams fighting hard for it. We've got some pretty nasty conditions here, but nonetheless, both teams fighting hard so far. Maple Leafs 4-5 on the season, 0-2 in Crossroads League play. St. Francis 2 wins, 6 losses, 1 tie, 0-2 in Crossroads League play as well. Now, Seth, something we need to talk about here. The Maple Leafs playing with a lot of confidence here in the first half. They scored quickly out the gate, and they've been playing well ever since.
Yeah, they scored quickly out of the gate on a great breakaway by Paige Renshaw. She does a great job of getting out of there, getting past the defenders, having a great one-on-one with the goalie, and putting away a nice shot. But after this, I'm seeing a lot of confidence from the Goshen defenders, especially. They're doing a lot of passing around in the backfield, trying to create opportunities, but it comes off as confident because they're not especially feeling pressured to go up there and score another goal. And so they are ready to show that their defensive players are confident that they can keep these Cougars kept to 1-0.
Let's talk Crossroads League action now. A quick shout out to and thank you to Tyson Miller back in the studios doing a great job with a little bit of a halftime scoreboard update. We'll take a look at the Crossroads League action as it is now. Goshen currently at the bottom of the Crossroads League. It's a little deceiving though. They're 0-2 in Crossroads League play, so that's where they're at the bottom. They have a 4-5 overall record, which is better than the 3 ahead of them. In fact, Bethel, who has a record overall of 2-9, is currently 4 spaces above the Maple Leafs just because they have been able to notch a Crossroads League victory. So that really goes to show you just how important Crossroads League play is, how important the conference play is to all of these teams. So Goshen currently at the bottom, 4-5, 0-2 overall. I think this is a huge opportunity for the Maple Leafs here. I believe they can leapfrog 4 teams and get in behind, actually behind Taylor, who is an 8-1 squad, if they can get the win here today. And as long as Marion comes away with the loss, there's plenty of opportunities for the Maple Leafs to move up in this Crossroads League.
Yeah, I mean, you talk a lot about how one team's schedule might be harder than another team's schedule, but I think that this, regardless of schedule, the Leafs are showing here this season and this year that they can really compete in the Crossroads League. And so I think that this is a perfect time to kind of put themselves in a spot where people look at them as contenders for the Crossroads League. And so tonight is very important, and we're already seeing a really, really good start with a 1-0 to the Leafs.
Maple Leafs doing an excellent job so far. Let's take a look at some of the statistics so far from the Maple Leafs. At the half, Micaiah McCain doing an excellent job so far, not letting the conditions get to her, except maybe one throw near the end where she maybe should have punted it out instead of throwing it. But otherwise, she's got 3 saves and on 3 shots on goal. Played all 45 minutes, and she really hasn't had to do a lot because you look at this St. Francis offense, and they have not been able to put up many good shots.
Yeah, I haven't seen a whole lot of good shots. I also just haven't seen a lot of opportunities created. You know, if you're trying to get good shots in, you need the good opportunity, you need good field position, and I'm not seeing that from the Cougars, which may be why they are at this point 2-6 in the season, 2-6-1, excuse me. The Cougars are not setting up great shots, but they are, I will say, they have been locking down Paige Renshaw since she got that first goal in, which I'm impressed by.
And let's take a look at the Maple Leafs offense now. They've been doing quite a bit better. Obviously, they got the goal from Paige Renshaw. Once again, that coming at the 38:56 mark of the first half. Renshaw now leading the way for the Maple Leafs with 4 goals on the season. That's something that we noted in the pregame, was that the Maple Leafs have 3 scorers, or at least coming into the game, had 3 scorers with 3 goals tied for that lead in Lang, Menaheen, and Renshaw. We all saw Lang, Menaheen, and Renshaw in the first half. They were all out on the pitch at the same time at one point. That's just such a huge offensive advantage to have. I mean, that I don't want to use the term equality, but that number of players out there who have put up equal distribution is what I'm talking about here.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. I think that when you talk about a well-rounded team, I talked about this in the pregame, you have to have more than one person that's scoring goals and putting shots on. And as you can see from the stats to this game, Paige Renshaw, she has 2 shots. One of those is obviously a goal. Lang has 3 shots, and then Menaheen has 1. So you're seeing sort of a 1, 2, 3. So they're each getting those shots in that they need to be getting in to put the scores up, and they're all dangerous on the field, and I talked about it as well, kind of subbing people in and out to make sure that you have 2 of those really deadly players on the field at the same time is really important.
Another thing, you look at the shots overall, the Maple Leafs have 9 at the half. Something to note, in their loss earlier on this week on Wednesday night to Mount Vernon Nazarene, they had 11 shots in the game total, so they're just 2 off of their shot total from the last game. Really done a great job of really pushing themselves from an offensive standpoint. How big of a difference is it? I mean, you know, shots don't always translate to goals or anything like that, but that's got to be a confidence booster for the Leafs, seeing that shot number compared to where it was last game.
It really is, and I think also that they can be really proud of it was a loss, but I think they can be really proud of how they played great against Mount Nazarene. I didn't call that game, but I was in the studio for that game listening, and I have to say the calls that I was hearing and I was getting, the Leafs put up some great shots. And so regardless of if they had about half as many shots as Mount Nazarene, they put in good shots, good quality shots, and that resulted in 2 goals. Now here today, they're putting in a lot more shots, and they're still getting goals. So it kind of depends. It goes both ways. Either you're putting in a lot of shots that are really, really great, or you're just putting in a lot and you still have goals.
Taking a look now, we're going to flip things here. The Mount Vernon Nazarene put up 22 shots in the total. They had, I believe, 12 in the first half and then 10 in the second. So you look at it, and so far, St. Francis only with 5. So you flip it around, and the defense has got to have a lot of confidence now, too, because they've done an excellent job of keeping the shot numbers down and obviously haven't allowed a goal so far.
And as well, McCain probably feels a lot better, too. She's not getting absolutely pounded by shots from people. She can kind of just sit back and make sure that she is the last line of defense rather than being that person that seems to be on the forefront when you're getting 22 shots in on you. And so the defense has to be feeling good about that, just because they know that they're making sure that McCain is the last line of defense, and then they are truly the ones that are making the plays to make sure that the ball isn't in a position where there's an opportunity presented.
We're going to take a quick timeout, and we're going to come back with more halftime analysis, and then we'll get back down to the action. We're going to send it back to Tyson Miller in the studios. Thanks for running everything for us today, Tyson. Stick around. It's 91.1 The Globe and the Go Leafs live stream. We are back live from the Eagle Athletic Complex on the campus of Goshen College. My name is Dante Stanton alongside Seth Smith-Coppin. We've got Goshen College women's soccer action for you. It's Crossroads League play. Crossroads League standings, definitely something to watch out for here. The Maple Leafs currently at the bottom of the Crossroads League. Despite being 4-5 on the season, they have 0 wins in the Crossroads League, looking to notch their first year against the St. Francis Cougars. St. Francis coming in at 2-6-1. They have no Crossroads League victories either. So this is a tough game for both teams. Let's throw it to you, Seth, now. You talked to the St. Francis head coach before the game, Ken Neuber, and, well, he had a little bit of a difficulty determining who was going to be the goalkeeper in this one.
Yeah, Ken told me that the reason that he couldn't get us a starting lineup right away was because he was deciding between goalkeepers due to health reasons. And now looking out, we have Melanie Zuris coming into the goal here today instead of Amber Morgan, who played the first half. She's a senior, but he said health issues, and I'm looking now, and Zuris seems to have a brace on her left knee. That could be an issue for her, especially with some of the shots that have been put in up and over. If those shots are a little bit lower, her ability to jump and be there for those balls might be lower than Amber Morgan was, and that might be Ken Neuber's concern.
Yeah, we saw her as soon as she came out here, she started jumping up and trying to reach and touch that crossbar to flex out that leg a little bit. See how she does here in the second half. Another thing, interesting thing to note, so far the Maple Leafs on this season, once again the score is 1-0 here as we're coming out of the halftime break and getting down to the action. Cougars will start with the ball. They're going to go down pitch very quickly. It's headed off of Elise Burton, and out of there quickly now on the near side are the Maple Leafs.
And there's Elise Burton, that switch that I was talking about. She actually comes in during halftime and starts this second half.
Ball is sent back to Nisley, and the Maple Leafs defense is able to collect itself a little bit after the quick start from the Cougars. So something we need to mention here, the Maple Leafs pitching a shutout so far, but something to note on the season, all of their shutouts obviously have been victories, but they have not won a game where they have allowed a goal so far this season. So the Maple Leafs looking to continue that shutout streak today.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing from the Leafs. It's obviously maybe a little bit of a mental problem. You know, you get a goal scored on you, and all of a sudden you don't want to play as hard, or it seems harder. And so making sure that the Leafs can maybe come back from that sort of thing and make sure that they're winning games that they're getting scored on. But here today, hopefully that shouldn't matter.
A little bit of different lineup out there for the Leafs after the halftime break. Swallow is back out there after starting the game. She came out. Swallow fighting for the ball here on the near side, gives it up to Hogue. Hogue just inside the 18, crosses over to Swallow. Swallow with an opportunity for a shot on goal, bounces it off of her left foot, doesn't take the shot, but Saya Lang recovers on the far side, sends a crosser in, and goes directly into the arms of Zaru.
Yeah, that's one problem there where Maddie Swallow, that conditions might be a little bit rough for her. She's trying to trap that ball and maybe get a quick shot off, but the trap goes a bit too far, and all of a sudden she can't take the shot anymore. So maybe a result of the weird bounces and wet conditions out here today.
Drew looking fine from a goalkeeper's standpoint so far. Kicks that one out of there and sends it long past Amy Drew for the Leafs. And pushing up on that far side is Jenelle Jordan. She sends it too far as she's trying to get it way far to Cronowet. Sends it all the way back to the Goshen defensive line. It's Nisley who picks it up. Nisley sends it long. Fighting for the ball at the center line is, I believe that was Swallow. Swallow went to the ground, but there's no call. Ball is being sent back to the defense for the Cougars, and trying to push it over here to the near side is Shear, but puts a little bit too much on it for Turnbow to handle, and the Maple Leafs to take over.
Yeah, what we were talking about earlier in the pregame, it being a really young team here, but we're switching up sides a bit. We're switching up the team a bit here for the Leafs in that Burton is in, as well as Delaney Hogue, who's also a freshman. And so an interesting move here by the Leafs to maybe put in some younger players, some less experienced players on this squad to hopefully, when Crossroads League really starts picking up, that all their players are experienced enough.
Leafs now with 7 freshmen out on the pitch, if my numbers are correct. Drew is in possession now for the Leafs. She sends it over to Adamczyk, and Adamczyk is going to keep it safe over here on the near side on the defensive third. Moves up to Menaheen, and Menahene's going to send it back to Nisley. Nisley sending it over the middle instead of sending it back. It's a risky move, but there's no one there to take over for the Cougars. So the Maple Leafs take over on the far side. I believe that's our Nashtatish, and Nashtatish sending it up for Drew, bounces it off the left foot, and it goes directly back to the Cougars.
Yeah, it's one spot where Nashtatish, she likes to push up, but she could push up maybe a bit more. She has space there, and she doesn't send that ball to feet, unfortunately.
The pitch is flipped, and it's sent all the way back down The other side on the near side now into the defensive third for Goshen. Nisley making the smart move and pushing it out of bounds, not giving Cronowet a chance here on the near side to make a play. Set to have the throw in for the Cougars is Turnbow. Turnbow throws it in. Trying to send in kind of a loose crosser to see if there's anybody there. Nothing doing. They send that one high from way outside the 18 over here on the near side, almost from the touch line. It's a high arcer, but therefore it is McCain. McCain sends it long now. It's Nash Satish on that far side. Pushing it up now over the middle and a lot of space for Amy Drew. Drew setting up a one-on-one opportunity over here. Diving for the ball and grabbing onto it is Melanie Zaru. Trying to set up, Menaheen. Menaheen with a good opportunity there.
Yeah, Zaru, she's a senior versus Morgan, who we saw in the first half. She's a sophomore, so obviously maybe a bit more experience here, maybe a bit better of a goalkeeper, but obviously coach doesn't want to risk Zaru's health especially as we're getting closer to Crossroads League, a big Crossroads League games here.
Cronowet in possession now for the Cougars. She's got about 4 Maple Leafs defenders around her, so she sends it to the outside to Grace. Grace sends it, that's Vince. Vince sends it up over the middle. The ball is bounced around after attempting to take a shot. It was Weichert. Weichert tries to send it over the middle, but kind of gets scattered around. Ball is sent long over here into the near side of the wing and unable to handle it out of the Cougars. They're trying to set up Vince again over here on the near side. Vince unable to grab it before it goes out past the goal line.
Yeah, maybe a bit of a miscommunication by Nisley and Arnashtatish there. Number 24 for the Cougars, that is Olivia Cronenwet, is sort of just standing in the middle of the field without a mark. Maybe a bit of a miscommunication there, and the Goshen College coach sees that.
Cronenwet again trying to move over the middle. She's got a defender on her that time, and that's Arnashtatish. Arnashtatish just sends it out of bounds. Throw in here on the near side from Turnbow. They're in the defensive third. Trying to push into the wing is Vince. Vince tries to send a crosser over. It bounces out of bounds on past the goal line. Actually, so that's going to be a corner kick. It bounces out of bounds off of Burton. So here on the near side, set to take that corner kick will be Vince.
Yeah, Burton trying to just lock Vince down, make sure that she doesn't get a cross in, and she does that well. However, here will come a corner kick from Vince, who has had some on and off on corner kicks.
Vince sending her last 2 corner kicks pretty low. She sends this one at about the perfect height that time. The ball is popped up off of the knee of a Goshen defender, and Goshen is going to take back over. Moving up here to the near side to Swallow. Swallow in a 50-50 fight for the ball. It's going to go out of bounds on Swallow. Turnbow with the quick throw in. Bounces off the leg of Vince as Vince tries to make a kick inside to the middle. Goshen with the quick throw in. Ball is scattered out of bounds and off the head of Turnbow. So another throw in. Burton throws this one in. Gets it over to Drew. Drew fighting for the ball. Has it stolen away from her by Gibbons. Gibbons in possession over the middle. Trying to get past Drew. She moves it over to the middle once again. Coming away with it is Biddle. Biddle trying to cross over just inside the 18 to Janelle Jordan. The Goshen defenders say no, and boot that one out of there quickly. Ball is sent all the way back into St. Francis territory. Biddle takes back over for St. Francis. Moving over here to the near side. Vince slides through the ball, tries to kick it as she does. Maybe a little bit too slick over there, and she isn't able to get any of it. Burton comes away with it and sends it to Hogue. Hogue sends it back to Burton for the Leafs, and she sends it out of there. She sends it, tries to set up Menaheen, but goes a little bit too far, so taking back over are the Cougars. Fight for the ball. And looks like Saya Lang comes away with it for the Maple Leafs and passes it up to Nash Satish on the far side. Nash Satish got some speed, bounces the ball off the defender, keeps track of it. Pass off the left foot up to Swallow. Swallow trying to corral it before it goes out of bounds. Sends a crosser over, but behind the net.
Yeah, good try by Maddie Swallow there. She sticks with that one. It's very obviously the Cougars defender is going to try and box her out of that, especially since it came off of her, but she makes the attempt for it, makes the attempt at a cross, and unfortunately it goes behind the net. But good hustle, good speed from Maddie Swallow.
37:05 remaining here in the contest. 1-0 lead for the Maple Leafs so far. Goal kick for the St. Francis Cougars from Zuri goes long. Bounced around by Adamchak for the Maple Leafs. Kick back the other direction. Well, deep back into the wing of St. Francis territory. Ball gets bounced around a little bit off of Menaheen. Menaheen pretty frustrated out there. She had a tough first half. She went down briefly with an injury but stayed out there. Good toughness from her so far.
Yeah, I believe it was Menaheen that was frustrated at one point with her teammates, maybe not moving as much as she wanted, not creating an opportunity as much, but since then she seemed to be sticking with it. But, oh, we have an extra ball in the field here. Burton to throw this one in.
Burton's throw in goes to Menaheen. Menaheen able to quickly get past the blocker. Sends it up over the middle, just a little bit behind Maddie Swallow. Swallow sends it over. I believe that's Drew. That's Lang, excuse me. Lang over the middle, sends a shot in. Bounces off the chest of Zuri, but Zuri able to quickly handle it as it just kind of flops forward in front of her.
Yeah, that's one of those times where the ball gets a bit slippery and Zuri tries to go and grab that one, but it bounces a bit, and that could be a bigger bounce potentially, and that's why the Leafs need to make sure that they're there if that bounce happens, but a little bit of a miss grab by Zuri.
Amy Drew sends a kick over the middle as the Maple Leafs take back over. She sends it over to Menaheen. Menaheen off of her right foot, kind of an awkward angle, isn't able to get it going anywhere, so it goes back to Drew. Now it's Say Lang. Lang moving inside, trying to get inside the 18, and she does. She's on the corner of the 18. On the far side, bounces the ball off the St. Francis defender and past the goal line, so the Maple Leafs are going to have a corner kick.
Yeah, great job by Lang. She knows that she needs to get across in there, but honestly, if the defender is pushing her like that, it doesn't matter too much if she just kicks it off of her, because here we have a cross here, and our Nash Teach will take this.
Ball is sent up. It's a skyward kick. Ball is bouncing around in the crowd. Looks like the Cougars are going to come away with it and get that one out of there quickly. It was a nice setup there by Nash Teach on the far side. The Maple Leafs unable to take advantage of it.
Our Nash Teach is a freshman, and I've been extremely impressed by her corner kick abilities. They are tall floaters that just sort of go right into the middle of the 18, right where it's all jumbled up. Corner kicks are very messy, very scrappy, but she puts in a perfect ball so that Goshen can have an opportunity off of every corner kick.
Something to note, it didn't work out there, but as we said, it was a perfectly placed ball, and she's got 4 assists on the season, which currently leads the team. So something to watch out for. She's pretty deadly on those corner kicks.
Yeah, our Nash Teach doesn't mind getting up in there, doesn't mind getting into the offensive action. She knows that she has teammates that will cover her, and I like seeing the aggressiveness from a defender, and it shows in her assists.
Maple Leafs battling back and forth for possession here. Amy Drew comes up to block a kick, unable to do so. Moving over the middle now is Cronowent. Cronowent fighting for the ball with Drew on the Goshen side of the halfway line. Moving up to get up to Nash Teach is our Nash Teach. Send up to Lang. Lang on the far side. Lang in connection. Sends it up over the middle. It's a nice crosser trying to set up Delaney Hogue. Hogue unable to use it, and sending a kick in hard is Maddie Swallow. Swallow sends it. Actually, kind of looked like it kind of caught the cheek of Haley Miller as she tries to go for a shot from well outside the 18. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, Swallow's got a big kick. She's got a big shot.
Back live from the Eagle Athletic Complex on the campus of Goshen College. We apologize for any technical difficulties that we are dealing with at the moment. We will try to keep you connected. Not sure how long we were off air, but nonetheless, the score is still 1-0 Maple Leafs. We've got a little bit of an injury timeout down on the pitch. Haley Miller took a kick to the face. It was totally unintentional, but Maddie Swallow looked to put in a shot from well outside the 18 and put a lot of power underneath it. It looked like it caught the cheek of Miller there.
Yeah, really unfortunate. That's probably got to hurt a lot for Miller, but good shot by Swallow, good attempt, and I'm sure she feels bad about that. That's not an intentional thing. But she was very sportsmanlike about it. Tried to check her out, make sure she was okay, and Miller might be getting a concussion protocol done on her because that was a hard shot to the head.
Miller up, walking, heading to the sidelines. Slowly, but it's good to see she's up and walking. 33-29 remaining here in the contest. The Maple Leafs still have the lead, 1-0. They've had a couple opportunities here in the second half. Maple Leafs with the only goal of the contest so far coming at the 38-56 mark by Renshaw in the first half. Substitution for the Cougars is going to be number 16, Michaela Smith. Miller heads over here to the athletic tent to get checked out. Hope she's doing all right. Believes that the Maple Leafs will start with the Cougars will start with possession here.
Yeah, this is a moment in soccer where they could do a drop kick kind of a thing, but I think the Leafs might just let them have this one, and a nice sportsman-like gesture to kind of just give the Cougars this one and see where it goes from there.
And I think that's also a testament to how much Coach Crew believes in this defense. I mean, they've been stellar so far in this contest. The offense has got 12 shots. The defense has only allowed 1 so far here in the first 12 minutes of the half. And this Maple Leafs defense is really holding up tough.
Yeah, that's what it's going to be there. That's a drop kick, and usually there can be a Leafs player that also goes for that, but they're going to choose not to. Just let it stay back, and like you said, confidence in the defense is here.
A little bit of moves here on the near side. They're going to set it up for Menaheen. Menaheen tracking the ball over here on the near side into the wing. Menaheen sends a shot up, across, bounced off the leg of Seiya Lang. There's no foul as anything as Smith collides with Lang. No cloud is definitely a dangerous play.
Yeah, Lang kind of gets up in the air there and spikes up, it looks like, as she's coming in for that kick, that cross from Menaheen. That's a little bit of a dangerous play, but no call, interestingly enough.
32:40 remaining here in this contest. There's going to be a foul against the Maple Leafs. I don't understand how you can call a foul on the Maple Leafs at about the halfway line for a shove-off after not calling the other one, but nonetheless, foul goes against the Maple Leafs.
Yeah, this Maple Leafs don't need to be doing stuff like that. I know that they want to put in a second shot to extend their lead, but Love needs to just be a little careful there. Lang.
Shears sends this one long for the Cougars, but quickly booting out of there is Nisley. Done a good job of it. She sets up Madison Swallow. Swallow with a good opportunity here. She's got speed, putting on the Jets. And an opportunity she leaves an open net does Zuri.
Yeah, she gets past her there, and just a bit of a bad touch by Swallow to go around her, and it's too far. And Zuri does get beat there, just interestingly enough, and that could have been a good scoring opportunity for Swallow.
Nonetheless, Swallow putting a little bit too much on the touch, and it goes out past the goal line. So a goal kick coming up for Zuri. She sends it long over here on the near side. It's bounced off a couple heads, and coming away with it are the Maple Leafs. They're going to send it all the way back to Nisley. Nisley over the middle, but she sends it over to our Nash Tatish. Nash Tatish sends it up over to Drew. Ball is bounced around, and Nash Tatish is in a fight for it on the far side with Biddle. Going back and forth now. Once again over about halfway between the center circle and, the center line and the 18. Just fighting for it along that far sideline. No one can really get a good hold on it. Ball is going to go out there on the Maple Leafs, just as I say that, of course. Yeah, 31 minutes remaining in the contest.
Yeah, looking over here at the scoreboard, we're looking at 13 shots for the Leafs and 6 shots for the Cougars, and that's interesting because the Leafs have put up an extra 2 shots here in the second half already, and the Cougars have put up none.
Maple Leafs in possession over the middle. It's Adamczyk. Adamczyk gets up to Drew, and Drew sets up Menaheen on here on the near side. Menaheen's got some speed. She's trying to get around the defender. That's Turnbow. She's going to try to cross it, but Turnbow does the smart thing and sends it out of bounds.
Yeah, sending it out there is definitely a good approach by Turnbow. Menaheen has a lot of speed coming in and is looking for that ball, and so she knows that she's going to get beat if she tries to go against Menaheen.
Yeah, and Menaheen has a lot of frustration here. Would be surprised if she puts a lot of power behind her kicks at this point in the contest. She suffered a little bit of a rib injury earlier on, but she's toughing it out there. We've seen some frustration from her, maybe a little bit of a lack of communication at times. Maple Leafs doing a good job here in the second half, setting up the long ball.
Yeah, for sure. I like seeing those long balls. I talked about it earlier in the half that I think the Leafs are really benefiting from those long balls right now, and so I want to be seeing more of that.
30 minutes to go, inside 30 minutes actually. Not too much time left in this contest. Maple Leafs up 1-0. That one score of the contest coming so far at the 38:56 mark of the first half. The Maple Leafs struck early and have been doing well ever since. Menaheen, after the throw-in here on the near side, tries to cross and send in a shot from outside the 18. Doesn't go. Goes up to Adamczyk. Adamczyk moving into the 18. Now Adamczyk with an opportunity, and she sends that one sky high.
Yeah, that one's way over into the baseball field. Adam Check has some good moves and shakes a couple defenders looking for a shot, being a little selfish and making an opportunity for himself, but just doesn't take advantage of it fully. And interestingly enough, I'm seeing a lot of the Cougars are really bottling up that middle area. They know that the Leafs are kind of dangerous through there with the through balls that they can be putting in, and so they're making sure that that's not happening.
Renshaw coming in for Hogue. Meanwhile, McAfee making her way in for Cronin went on the Cougar side.
Yeah.
Renshaw back in the contest for the first time since the first half.
Have not seen much of Hogue recently this season, and so Renshaw coming in, she's a bit more experienced, and so hopefully a little bit more happening on this near side, but Hogue plays a good half, or a good little bit of a half, and she needs the experience.
Isabel Love also in there for the Maple Leafs, one of the substitutions that we mentioned earlier on in the contest. She had a back and forth first half. Maple Leafs in possession now. Battling back and forth is Renshaw. Renshaw and Menaheen comes away with it for the Leafs, and there's going to be a foul against the Cougars as Menaheen tries to make her way down the middle. It's Caitlin Welker who's going to draw that foul.
Yeah, Welker just kind of gets up on Menaheen. Menaheen's trying to make some moves, and Welker doesn't like that, and so she puts her body and feet in too far into Menaheen, and that's an obvious free kick here.
Free kick coming over the middle. Set to take it is going to be Inash Satish.
And Nash we talked about her big kick. Hopefully we see something from here.
She sends a beauty up, and it just a little bit too high and wide.
Yeah, that's straight up, and she looks like she's going straight for the shot there. There's no sort of crossing or anything like that happening, and that's probably a good call by her. Cougars knew it too. They had a big wall, about 6 players in a wall.
Just a little bit lower on that one. Extend the lead for the Maple Leafs, but nonetheless the score remains 1-0 with 27-25 remaining here in the contest. The Maple Leafs and Cougars both looking for their first Crossroads League victory of the season. Maple Leafs defense doing a stellar job so far in this one, allowing just 6 shots. The Maple Leafs themselves have put up 15. Maple Leafs here in the first, inside 20 minutes of this half, have put up 6 shots. The offense is really clicking here.
Yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing from the offense, especially the second half.
And
they're
we've
not
got
tiring.
Madison Swallow here just inside the 18, crossing over to the middle. And maybe not the smartest move there, crossing over to the middle. She gets it to Drew. Drew sends it back over here to the near side to Isabel Love. Love sends a crosser over, and the Maple Leafs are unable to come away with it. Now it's Renshaw fighting for the ball on the far side.
Yeah, nice job by Love. She kind of comes up to support and then realizes that there's no real opportunity because of that bottling up in the middle. Sends a cross in, an attempt, and it's fought for well by Paige Renshaw, but unfortunately the Leafs can't get anything on that.
Well, as we mentioned, the Maple Leafs doing a pretty good job from an offensive standpoint here in the second half. As we mentioned, putting in 15 shots total. 6 already in the second half, and they send another one long. Menaheen sent that one from about 20 feet outside the 18 from the far side, but it goes past the goal line.
Yeah, Menaheen, she's got no problem taking a shot like that, and I like to see that. Those shots, those big shots from outside the 18, they can be a lot of fun when they're on goal, and it's a tough save for a goalkeeper. We haven't seen much of that stuff from Zaru yet, but hopefully some more shots will show her. We'll show if she's got those balls or not. 16
shots now in the game for the Maple Leafs. 7 here in the first 20 minutes of the second half. We are at the 25-30 mark. 20 minutes down, 25 to go here in this one. Maple Leafs up 1-0. Maple Leafs trying to get something going on the offensive side here on the near side. It's Love here on the near side in the attacking third, trying to move into the wing. They get it over to Swallow. Swallow over the middle, getting past the defender, sends a shot in on goal. It's a low one, but it bounces, goes into the arms of Zaru. Nice shot there.
Yeah, great shot. Keeps that low, keeps that bouncing. It's definitely a tactic here when the weather's like this to just keep them low and keep them bouncing, because Zaru, who does a good job of getting her body in front, not just her hands, but her whole body, but she picks that one up well.
Love a little bit of mishandling on the ball here on the near side after the goal kick leads to McAfee on the near side, trying to get into the wing, and she does. Gets past Love, sends a shot over the middle, but it's blocked out of there nicely by Knisley. Knisley able to come away with the ball again after an attempted slide kick from Vince, and Knisley sends it long, and St. Francis Cougar offense is going to have to retread all the way back to their side of the field. Ball is set up quickly over here on the other side. Isabel Love caught out of position. Vince with an opportunity for a crosser, and Vince sends that one way too far, sends it all the way outside to the other side of the 18.
Yeah, I shouted out Vince pretty early in the game, said that she might be a factor. Vince has had a lot of opportunities. Her team sets her up quite a bit, but her crosses and her shots just have not been on. They haven't been on target.
Renshaw on the far side now for the Maple Leafs. Ball getting ahead of her a little bit too much, so she sends a crosser over here, and it actually hits the right side of the goalpost. Beautiful crosser. If she sent it just a little bit more to the left, she could have had an opportunity for Swallow here to clean up. But Swallow going to head to the bench for the Maple Leafs. May be the last we see of her with 23:40 remaining. Luisa Souza comes in for her.
I'd say that Swallow had just a great game. She started rather than coming off the bench, and she showed that she belongs out here on the field, and definitely maybe as a starter she has had some great opportunities in this game. Hasn't capitalized on any of them, but has definitely made sure that everyone knows that she is a contender for a starter position.
Cougars in possession. They send it down the pitch into Goshen College territory, but Goshen coming away with it. Leafs, that's Love. Sends it over the middle to Adamczyk. Adamczyk with 2 defenders on him, so she puts the moves on both of them. Stops, turns it around, and sends it back to Arnashtish. And Arnashtish sends it long over here on the near side to Souza. A little bit too much on it. Souza isn't able to catch up with it, and Caitlin Welker is able to come away with the ball. Believe the ball is going to go out on the Maple Leafs. Welker lets that one go.
Yeah, and that's the first time that we've really seen here on this in the second half of the Goshen College defense just kind of passing it around in the backfield. We saw a bunch of that the first half, but maybe not as much of it the second half. A lot of it has been in the attacking half, the attacking third, which is impressive considering that they were doing a lot of passing around in the backfield before.
Tavares makes the substitution in for Menaheen. First time we've seen Menaheen leave the pitch in this contest. Tavares makes an instant impact with a pass over the middle. Gets it over to Adamczyk, but the ball is booted out of there off the foot of Janelle Jordan. This ball is sent back all the way to Isabel Love. Now back to Nisley, and Nisley crosses it over to Arnashtish on the far side. Arnashtish moving up the pitch. Taking it all the way across the halfway line. Gets it up to Drew. Drew in the middle, setting up the offense. Drew gets it over here on the near side to Love. Love has to move in a little bit for it, and she does. She tries to send a big shot over the middle, but it's body blocked there by Givens, and the ball is sent quickly back the other direction. Goes all the way back to Arnashtish. Arnashtish sends it over the middle. Gets it up to Lang. It's bounced off the foot of Lang back to Arnashtish, and now setting up Lang on the far side. Lang in contention with Smith. Lang pushes it over on a little bit of a crosser, unable to go for it, but Tavares is able to come away with it for the Leafs. Now they're going to send it back over to Lang in the far side wing. Lang sends it up over the middle. No one on goal as there's a tumble for the ball. It looked like a couple defenders both went for the ball at the same time as Zuri. No one over here on the near side for the Maple Leafs, however, and they're unable to take advantage of that open net.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about when we're saying that there's just a lot of unpredictability right now in these conditions. Zuri goes for that ball as well as a couple other defenders. It gets confusing, gets jumbled up, and all of a sudden the ball is going right across the front of the goal line, right about the 6-yard box. And so one of those Goshen offenders needs to be kind of standing on that far side just to make sure that if anything happens, they're there just to put any sort of body part on that makes it go in.
The kick here on the near side comes from Katie Shear. Shear sends it long and way out of bounds. So just like that, the Cougars hand the ball back to the Maple Leafs. A substitution for the Leafs. Burton comes in for Isabel Love.
And Burton been getting a lot of good play in here today, and she has been locking down this near side, which has had Vince on it.
Moving over the middle now after the throw and finding space up the middle is Amy Drew. Drew sending a shot in on goal. She sends it high. Not having to jump for it there much is Zuri. If she sent that a little bit higher, maybe Zuri doesn't get quite that opportunity to grab it, and she does.
Yeah, Zuri gets her hands up there, really puts those hands in that goalkeeper triangle position and just grabs that ball, makes sure her hands are steadfast. Nothing can slip through that. Great job by Zuri, but also a great shot.
Ball is sent skyward after some back and forth over here on the near side. Just crossed the halfway line are the Maple Leafs. Ball now in possession of Tavares. Tavares moving along the near side. She's got some speed on Turnbow. Moving in and Goes for the crosser, sets it up. No one there for the Maple Leafs. It bounces off the foot of a St. Francis defender. Drew sends it up over the middle, trying to get Lang inside the 18. Holly Thomas for the newly checked in Holly Thomas for the Cougars is in possession. In a battle with Elise Burton. Holly Thomas sends it over the middle. Fighting for the ball and coming away with it is Tavares. Nice moves from Lang to set up that takeaway. Tavares in a little bit of a hand-fighting situation. That one's going to go, I believe, against Tavares.
Yeah, you can see Burton here on this near side. She's really pushing up there, which we've seen from these kind of outside wingers that they're going to be doing that. But there she gets a little scared and she's sprinting back, and that's the one time where she's just a little out of position, just too much up. And it's a fine line between too far up and not too far up and not supporting your team enough. And there she learns her boundaries and realizes that that's too far.
Setting this one long off the free kick is Katie Shear. She sends it deep into Goshen College territory, about halfway between the center circle and the wing. Over here on the near side in possession is Thomas for the Cougars. She goes out of bounds quickly after sliding a little bit. Gets back up, but the Maple Leafs are able to take advantage of the quick out of bounds and takes back over. It's Amy Drew over the middle, putting the moves on Menke. Moves over the middle now. Is Burton. Burton up to Renshaw. Renshaw leaves it off for Lang, and Lang gives it up to Burton here on the near side. Burton inside the 18. Goes for the crosser, sends it over the middle. There's a Goshen College player there, set to take the shot, and there's a stoppage of play.
Great play by Burton. She immediately gets that ball. She plays it off to someone. She's really working well with her offenders there to make sure that there's passes coming to her, and as she's moving up the field, she's creating an opportunity. She's not just going up just for no reason. She's making sure that she's involved in the play, and now is all the way back here defending again. Great play by her.
17-15 remaining here in this contest. Maple Leafs have a 1-0 lead. Luisa Sousa now looking to extend that. She gets it to the near side to Renshaw. Renshaw sends a crosser over, too much on it. Sends it all the way over, trying to get Lang. She pops that one up and sends it too far out past the goal line.
Yeah, Zuru makes a good decision there. It looks like she's about to grab that, but doesn't. Results in a goal kick and a guaranteed possession for the Cougars, which we have seen domination here by Goshen College, I'd say. We haven't seen many shots from the Cougars, and we haven't seen much possession from them either. It's been strictly defending, it seems, against this this Goshen College offense.
Definitely something to note. You said the Maple Leafs have really been dominating in this one. I have to agree. They've got 18 shots, and they're looking to set up another one here, but it's caught over the middle this time by Turnbow. Cougars able to get that one out of there. Maple Leafs have 18 shots so far in this contest. They had 9 in the first half, and they've had 9 here in the second with 16 minutes still to play. So with about half an hour down, they've had 9 shots. And you look at the numbers, and the Cougars had 5 shots at the half. They have 6 with about 16 minutes to play. I think you're right. It's been pretty much domination here from Maple Leafs. I don't want to jinx anything, but they are doing quite well on the defensive side. Ball is moved over here into the middle. It's Adamczyk. Adamczyk inside the 18. Sends one in, but it's kicked out of there by the defender. Moving the ball out of there is Michaela Smith for the Cougars. She sends it out of bounds. Smart move there. 15:40 remaining.
Haven't seen much of that far side over there. That's our Nash Tatish as well as Drew. They play together there a bit, and Drew goes for that ball. Doesn't get there exactly, so now there's a throw-in. But that far side has not been as active as this near side especially has been.
The throw-in for the Cougars goes up, mishandled, and so Nash Tatish is able to boot that one out of there. It's a long one, sending it all the way up to, sends it back to Zuri. Renshaw moving in on Zuri like she's going to go after it and forces Zuri to move up there quickly. The defender slipped, and that's just kind of one of those things that was the smart play by Renshaw, because she kind of forces a little bit of pressure on him, and especially in these conditions, it's easy to slip.
Yeah, it really is. And you mentioned pressure. It's really easy to just grab a ball that's rolling towards you with no one coming at you. But when someone's coming at you, it can be scary to make sure that you're getting your hand on that ball if you're Zuri. And so good play by Renshaw. She should keep doing that, especially in this second half as this team gets tired.
Maple Leafs try to cross pitch over here to the near side to Sousa, but it's intercepted by Turnbow. Turnbow's going to try to set up further down the pitch Holly Thomas, but Nisley does a good job of booting that one out of here. Excuse me, that's Burton. Burton gets that one out of here and sends it all the way back across into St. Francis territory. St. Francis moving up now and trying to get over the middle. They've got a couple opportunities here. They try to cross it over here to Thomas. Now Turnbow here on the near side in the wing. Turnbow looking to send a crosser, and the ball's going to go out of bounds, and they're actually going to say it went out on the Cougars. So good defense there by Burton.
Burton absolutely locked that down, and you'll see she's moving along with Turnbow. She's giving her ground, making sure that she has space. She's not going to try and get by her. Make sure that she's in front, and eventually that ball she forces it to go out. A perfect play by Burton, and that's why she's in right now, playing in the second half.
2 substitutions for the Leafs. Renshaw, and I believe that's going to be Saya Lang, headed to the bench. Menaheen coming in, as well as number 10, Tamirez Lima. A couple substitutions for the Cougars as well. With 13:30 left to play, the Maple Leafs have a 1-0 lead. Trying to send it along and set up here for Vince are the Cougars on the near side. Vince unable to come away with it. Burton making another nice defensive play, and she pushes it down pitch. Burton coming away with the ball again as it's sent back down to her, and she sets up a beautiful cross-pitch play here. It's set up for Amy Drew. Now Drew moving over the middle, setting up her offense a little bit, gives it over to Tavares. Tavares stops, gets it back to Drew. Drew with a nice kick off of Tavares, and Tavares takes a shot from just outside the 18 over the middle, goes directly into the arms of Zuri. A nice play setup nonetheless.
For sure. A good shot, too. You kept mentioning Elise Burton. She keeps being influential on this side. She's locking down this side. And before her, her counterpart, I guess, that went onto the bench is Isabel Love. And Isabel Love really did a great job of locking down this side. And the Cougars love this side. They're trying to set up Vince, but it's just not happening with Elise Burton and Isabel Love.
Ball going out of bounds on the Cougars on the far side, just unable to handle it. So the Leafs will have an opportunity to throw this one in, and they do. It's Nash Tatish giving it up to Adam Check, and it goes back to Nash Tatish, and she sends it down the pitch. It's over to, that's not Lang, that's Adam Check. Adam Check sends it over the middle to Menaheen. Menaheen recently checked back in. She's having a good contest so far, really tough contest. I think the Maple Leafs have shown a lot of toughness in this one, avoiding a couple fouls and a couple slide downs for injury. Slide there from Adam Check, sends it all the way back to Nash Tatish. Nash Tatish sends it back to Nisley. Nisley over the middle for the Maple Leafs.
Burton's looking for it out here. She wants it.
And giving it to her is Nisley. So Burton with the ball here on the near side sets up a beautiful ball over here for Tamirez Lima, but Lima isn't there. A little too much on it.
Yeah, Lima's looking for that corner, and Elise Burton is looking for more of a through ball towards the middle, and it's just a little bit of a miscommunication from those two. Not a problem, though. So Zaru goes for this goal kick.
11:15 remaining in this contest. The Maple Leafs up 1-0. 19 shots so far in this one. I think they're looking to double up on their shot total from the last game against Mount Vernon Nazarene, in which they had 11. They were able to put 2 scores in on that contest, 1 so far in this one, and they are shutting out their opponents so far. Ball is sent skittering out of bounds. I believe that's going to be on the Maple Leafs here on the near side in about the middle third. So the throw in from Turnbow goes in, gets it to Vince. Vince going out of bounds, but comes back in to grab it. Vince stops, does the smart thing, and sends it back to her defenders. Sets it up for Welker, and Welker sends it all the way back to the middle to Shear. Shear sends it long for the Cougars, a high arcing kick, and you're going to send it all the way back to Micaiah McCain. I believe that's only the second time Micaiah McCain has touched the ball in this half.
I was actually going to comment on that as well, Dante, and McCain doesn't seem to have a problem with it. I'm sure she doesn't, as she's watching this Leafs team dominate up top.
I'm sure Coach Justin Crew doesn't mind that one either for the Maple Leafs. You know, the less your goalie has to touch the ball, the better.
Yeah, I talked about that, and making sure that McCain truly is the last line of defense, and that the defenders up here are really doing their job and making sure that doesn't go back to her. That's a good thing.
Trying to set up the offense here in the near side and trying to get Lima. Connection once again isn't there between her and Burton, so ball goes out of bounds. Turnbow set to throw in for the Cougars. 9:35 remaining in this contest. Leafs holding on to a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, Lima is a little bit frustrated there. Maybe a little bit communication problem between Elise Burton who's having a great game, and Lima, who's also having a great game. Just a bit of miscommunication.
Maple Leafs fighting for the ball here. Lima. Ball gets past her, but Tavares takes it away, and now setting up Menaheen on the near side. Menaheen looking for a crosser. Pushes inside. Sends a shot in on goal. It's bounced up off the fingertips and over the net. Out of bounds on the Cougars.
Yeah, that is a
beautiful shot.
A beautiful shot by Menaheen. It's hard. It's straight. It's going for that far corner, and Zaru has to move a bit, as well as she realizes she's not going to get her hands up there, so she just takes her fist and just punches that one up and over the goal. Not a problem, but a great shot by Menaheen, and that makes shots for the Leafs 21 to 6 shots.
Maple Leafs having a fantastic game from an offensive standpoint, and they're going to have an opportunity here for a kick. We've got Saya Lang coming into the contest. She's going to send Luisa Souza out.
And here's another where those things, this trifecta of kind of Lang and Menaheen and Renshaw that are dominating in the offense, we're making sure that at least 2 of them are as much as possible to make sure that our offense is really dominating, which they are.
And Ashnashtatish going to take a corner kick here from the near side. Beautiful ball sent up over the middle, bounced around and headed out of there. But Drew comes away with it on the far side corner of the 18. Sends that one in, but too far wide left.
Again, with the amount of corner kicks that we're taking here, Nashatish is doing an amazing job of consistently putting these in, consistently putting them up, making sure that our team can at least try and get ahead on it. And a great shot from Lang there.
So with 8 minutes remaining, Seth, if you're the Maple Leafs here, what kind of defense are you playing? Are you sticking to the same game plan that you played this entire contest so far? Kind of an aggressive one that's really always kind of going for the ball, or at least that's what we've seen in the second half. Do you stick with that, or do you follow more into kind of a prevent defense kind of thing?
No, I don't see a problem with how we're playing right now. The offense has done a great job of keeping possession. If the offense was getting great opportunities but wasn't keeping possession, it was really a defensive possession-based game, then I would say that maybe you need to be going for something more like that, and the midfielders need to step back a bit. But in this case, because the offense is doing a great job of passing with each other and making sure possession is on them, I don't see a problem with how we're playing right now.
7:20 remaining in the contest. Maple Leafs with that 1-0 lead, 21 shots so far, 6 for the Cougars. Ball is skittered out of bounds on the far side as we get closer and closer to the end of this contest. Once again, both teams looking for their first conference victory of the season. The Maple Leafs are trying to hold on. They would jump up at least a couple spots in the Crossroads League standings if they were to come away with a win today. It's Saya Lang fighting for the ball on the far side, now moving into the far side wing. Looking to send a crossover. She does. Sends it up over the middle. It's bounced off of Turnbow for the Cougars, and Turnbow sends it out of there.
Yeah, Turnbow takes a bit of time clearing that one out. That's where the Goshen really needs to be crashing in there and getting into the middle, putting pressure on Turnbow to make a mistake.
Arnashtatish headers that one out of there as it's sent quickly back the other direction. Moving the ball over the middle now is Biddle. Biddle moving it up to Weichert. Weichert sending over here to the near side to Turnbow. Turnbow all the way up from her defender's spot here on the near side into the wing. Well into the defensive third, but Burton says no way. Sends that one out of bounds, but a safe outside the touchline.
Yeah, looking at Burton, she's moving her feet, she's determined, she's looking at the ball. She has no problem letting Turnbow dribble around out there, and she steps at a perfect time to send that one out.
Turnbow after the throw-in, trying to get it away from Burton. And Burton makes another excellent move, blocks it with her shin, sends that one out of there.
Yeah, Burton is locking down this side. I'm very impressed by Burton today. She's a freshman, and we haven't mentioned her too much in these past couple of games that we've called Dante, but she has definitely made an impact today.
St. Francis Cougars in possession. They're looking to make a move for the ball, and they send it up over the middle. It looks like they're going to call a foul on the Maple Leafs. The ball was sent in to Carly Biddle, but Biddle looked like she slipped on the ball, and they're going to call it on the Maple Leafs. It's going to call a foul on Arnashtatish.
I don't see that as a foul. Carly Biddle just slipped on the ball. She steps on the ball and slips. Arnashtatish is just sitting behind her, waiting for her to turn. That's not a foul.
I didn't even see any contact.
Nope, I didn't see any contact either. Arnashtatish is just waiting, and she's getting behind the ball, making sure that she's in front of that. I don't see that as a foul, and this is going to be a great opportunity for the Cougars, but we got a wall set up here for Goshen's.
Looks like a 5-person setup in the wall. 4:50 remaining. The shot is up way too high, so nothing to worry about there for the Leafs with 4:45 remaining. You could kind of feel a little bit of a raised intensity here. We've been talking about how much the Leafs have been dominating. They're still only leading by 1. So, when a shot comes from just outside the 18 like that, the intensity is still very much there, despite, how it feels like the Maple Leafs have really dominated this contest.
I will say I did get a bit tense there, wondering if some miracle was gonna happen for the Cougars, who haven't had the best shots or the best crosses here today. Something could have just happened there. I mean, this is the game of soccer; anything can happen. But just sort of an interesting thing there that just one little shot just makes me a bit nervous, just because the Leafs are only up by 1.
So the throw in on the far side after the Maple Leafs are unable to handle it. Ball goes to Biddle. Biddle tries to set it up for McAfee, but it's going to go out of bounds. They're actually going to bounce that one. Our Nashatish does a good job. She bounces it off of McAfee, so the Maple Leafs are going to take possession. And Nashatish is set for the throw-in. There's going to be a substitution for the Maple Leafs with 3:51 remaining.
Yeah, another one of those situations where as the defender, you're just trying to bounce it off so that you can get the throw-in, but this throw-in will probably result in another throw-in, and that one might result in another throw-in. It's a never-ending cycle sometimes.
Renshaw comes in for the Maple Leafs, sending Lima to the bench. They had a quick stoppage of play, 3:35 remaining. Going to throw it in again for the Maple Leafs. The ball is skittered out of bounds, and as you said, it's going to be a little bit of a cycle here. The ball keeps getting sent out of bounds, but the Maple Leafs keep coming away with it. Another throw in, that one headed, but kept alive this time by the Maple Leafs. It goes to Adamczyk, taking over is the Cougars. And then getting the ball out of there quickly as our Nashatish, as she sends it long over the middle. It gets skittered out of bounds.
Great job by both Nisley and our Nashatish. They recognize there, both of them, that a ball they can both step on and make sure that it doesn't get any closer to the 18 than they have to. They're pushing out of position a bit, but they make sure they win the ball.
Good move there by our Nashatish as she sends that one long and sends it real long all the way to the 18 on the opposing side. And forcing Zuri to come up here on the near side to make a play of it. And making a play over here on the near side now is Shear. Shear sends a shot in. Bounced off the foot of, I believe over there was in the middle was Burton. It looked like she wasn't able to get a handle on it. Goshen doing a good job on defense, maintaining their positioning.
That would be a sad moment for the Leafs.
A little bit of a scare there.
Yes, at the 2:30 mark, if they get scored on something like that, a little bit of a miscommunication by the defense that's played so well. They need to make sure that they keep this up.
7th shot of the game coming for the Cougars, and then there's going to be a foul just inside the 18, and so the intensity level ratcheted up yet another notch here as it looks like it's going to be a free kick from just outside the corner of the 18.
Yeah, again.
1:50 remaining.
Again, we're looking at some of these calls that may not be calls in fact, but the ref is calling them. And you could see our Nashatish is a little confused about that, as am I, but it is a call nonetheless, and so the Leafs have to put this one out.
Looks like a 4-person wall is set up and too high once again from the outside corner. Taking that shot was Weichert. A couple opportunities here in the final minutes for the Cougars. They just have not been able to take advantage of them.
Yeah, 21 shots to the Leafs and now 8 shots for the Cougars, and those 8 shots, 2 of them have been in the last, minute and a half.
Yeah, only 3 here in the second for the Cougars. The rollout over here on the near side goes to the St. Francis Cougars. The ball is headed out of bounds. Cougars in quick fight mode. They're going to send that one in for the throw-in. The ball gets bounced off of the Cougars, and so another throw-in. This time for the Maple Leafs. A good move by Menahin sends it over the middle to Tavares with 1 minute remaining. Tavares sets it up here on the near side, trying to get it to Renshaw, and there's going to be an offsides.
That's one that Renshaw really shouldn't be offsides on now, because the Cougars are guaranteed a possession here. With 40 seconds left, the Leafs really need to be marking up and making sure that this ball from Zuri doesn't become a goal-scoring opportunity.
Zuri comes all the way out to about halfway between the middle third and the line. Sets it up over the middle. 30 seconds remaining, 25 now. And looking to take a shot in on goal on that far side is Shear. Shear tries to take the shot. 15 seconds remaining. They're going to have to set up a corner kick here with about 11 seconds left in the contest.
10 now.
Corner kick from the far side. She sends it up, goes over the middle. Ball is bounced around. Nowhere near the goal is Micaiah McCain, and actually looks like the Cougars were able to send the ball in. It went into the net, but it was after the buzzer sounded. Maple Leafs escape with a very strange victory. Nonetheless, a victory is a victory, however you look at it. 1-0, Maple Leafs win their first conference matchup of the season. What an ending.
Wow, fast and scrappy ending here at the pitch. A very interesting ending. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that, but nevertheless, the Leafs with a conference win.
Absolutely. They moved to 5-5 on the season, 1-2 in conference play. That'll bump them up a little bit in the Crossroads League. What a game and what a finish. We'll be back with some post-game analysis right here on 91.1 The Globe, WGCS Goshen. Don't go anywhere.